Hey guys, real quick before we get into the episode, don't forget to
like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Hella Average Gaming. Follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/Hella Average Gaming, average spelled AVG. Subscribe to us on YouTube.
Follow us on SoundCloud at soundcloud.com/Hella Average Gaming. Listen to us on Stitcher, check us out on iTunes, and make sure to listen to us on Google Play.
And with all that said and done, let's get to it.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 93 of the Hella Average Gamescast. We've got the whole crew back. Jeremy and Carmin are with me tonight, but we have a special guest to make the podcast that much better. Josh from Let's Play Tonight and the subject tonight decided to join us again. How you doing today, Josh?
I'm doing great, guys. Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. It's so good to hear your voice. How's the week been?
For me?
Yeah, for you.
It's been interesting. Lots of things have been happening at work, but more specifically, I've been playing a whole lot of Apex Legends.
Beautiful. So that's what we're here to talk about is video games because nobody cares about work.
That's fair.
All right, so we're going to get into what we've been playing. Since we've got Josh as a guest, and I'm assuming that everybody else had a good week. I'm kind of skipping over. Is everybody else's week good? Does anybody want to complain about something?
Nobody else's week matters.
Nobody else's week matters.
Fuck us. It's not like I've done this podcast with you for 92 weeks.
We get a guest, and you just got to pay attention to the guest. Fuck everybody else.
Yeah, so fuck me. Josh had a busy week at work, and he's been playing Apex. That's cool. Next. Thanks, man.
Well, if you got what you got, Carmin? How's the week, buddy?
I've got nothing to say to you.
Okay, Jeremy, how's the week, buddy?
Oh, my house blew up, and my dog got run over by a car.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
This sounds like
I don't have a dog.
I
don't even have a dog.
A bad country song.
My dog got run over by a car. My sister's, my brother's, aunt's, cousin's wife.
Oh, God.
I didn't know we were going full Alabama here.
Oh, yeah. You never know what's going to happen, Josh.
Welcome to North Carolina.
But now that we've got all the housekeeping out of the way, if you will, now, Josh, why don't you give us some information about Apex Legends and how much of a badass game it is?
So here's the thing. I hate Battle Royale. I told myself that I wouldn't play it because it was a Battle Royale game, but a lot of my friends who also don't like Battle Royale games were like, hey, you should try it. Maybe you'll like it. It seems really interesting. It's a bit different in regards to how it works. And I'm like, okay. But my biggest issue in most of the other Battle Royale games that I played is that the shooting mechanics in them are ass because the games weren't designed, in my mind, with the shooting against players. The example that I'm thinking about when I say that is Fortnite. Because Fortnite, when it was developed as a player versus environment kind of game, and then it became a battle royale. So shooting against other people and people moving like people is, well, in my opinion, ass. So when Respawn showed up and was like, hey guys, here's how you actually make a battle royale game, everybody was like, oh, we like this. And sure enough, I gave it a try and I haven't stopped playing it. Basically most of my free time has been spent playing Apex Legends. And I don't think that that's a bad thing at all. It's a very well-made game, and I very much enjoy playing it.
Super good. What do you think about the damage system, though?
The damage system?
Yeah, sometimes I'll put up 130 white numbers on a dude, and he still doesn't drop.
I don't know. I think the damage is a little off. I think that's my only complaint about the game is the damage is a little unbalanced.
I think that that's fair. I can't say that I feel that as often, but I've heard that from lots of people. And maybe I've not played it enough to experience that myself. But I have had a few situations where I feel like I put a bunch of shots into a person and I feel like they should have gone down and didn't. But there are lots of things in there that I could be factoring out, like me missing a couple of the shots in the volley or what have you. But yeah, Peacekeeper's broken.
Yeah, I switched from the Peacekeeper to the full auto shot. I like just holding the button down and going off on people. So
That's fair.
Now, are you maining somebody, or are you just kind of switching off and using a few different people?
So, whenever I have a team-based game, I naturally gravitate toward like the supporting role, because in every team-based game I've played beforehand, no one ever wants to play the supporting role. So I would rather be a good support than like believe that there would be a good support out there that would work with me. And that's never been true, because I've never had that experience. Like that started with me in like Evolve. When that game came out, I played the shit out of Evolve, and no one ever played healers. Like literally ever, no one ever did it. It was usually, if there was a bot on our team, it was always the bot. So I was like, you know what? There's like a need here. People need good healers. So I grinded that shit out. I learned how that character worked, all of them, and I just became the best healer. Like that's the class that I was good at, other than playing the monster. And I've basically carried that over to like every other game that has like an aspect of defense or like support necessary. And that's just what I do. I'm a support main. And so I play Lifeline. That was a really roundabout way of saying that I main Lifeline. But if other people play Lifeline, then I either play Mirage or Gibraltar.
You're a man after my own heart. I always gravitate towards the healers for the same exact reason, because for some reason, nobody wants to be a healer. I guess it's because you don't get any glory. But then your team doesn't work without a healer. I'm thinking like Overwatch. Like if you don't have a healer in Overwatch, you're going to get
just
bombed.
lose. Like you literally just lose.
So I'm right there with you. You're a man after my own heart. I'm down with your thought process there. And I got to agree. We've been playing a whole lot of Apex. We've only got one win in between us, but like as a group, we weren't gelling right. But we're getting better. We're throwing ourselves into firefights, getting better at shooting. Respawn did a hell of a job with this game.
Absolutely.
I'm excited for the battle pass. See what's going on with that. So yeah, I'm down with it. I think the Apex is one of the better. Well, in my opinion, actually, I think it's the best battle royale game.
I am inclined to agree.
I mean, Fortnite still has its place, but I think it's for me personally. I think Apex is the better monster there.
It's just better in the sheer fact that like you can shoot at a guy and he can't turn into a 19-story house.
And the fact that I can't. Like these guys build in 2 seconds, and it takes me 5 seconds just to open up the menu to look at what I can build.
Right.
I can't even believe you're that fast. It takes me 30 seconds to realize I need the wall, and then I'm knocked.
It's
and then
tough.
by that point, like you're getting shot at, and you realize you need the materials, and then you don't even have them because you haven't been attacking any trees, and you're like, wait, why the fuck would I attack trees?
Yeah, I mean, I get it. And Fortnite was fun. You know, we played a lot of it, but eventually, I feel like the learning curve, once people started getting real good at that game, you could get left behind because of the building mechanic. Because you couldn't keep up, and then you were at a disadvantage. I guess if you played all day, every day, you'd be fine. But who has time for that?
People who have no life.
Right? People who actually do this for a living. The rest of us got to work, America. Come on.
Yep.
So what else? Would you just play Apex Legends? Has that been taking up most of your time?
That's been taking the majority of it. I'd say the other part that I actually choose to do anything else, I've been wrapping up all the things I need to do in Kingdom Hearts 3 to get the secret ending.
Very cool, very cool. Are you working on the platinum too, or is just the secret ending something different?
Oh no, I don't platinum games.
Okay.
I don't care enough.
I got you.
I would like to actually live a life.
Carmin got the platinum on it. Did you get the secret ending too, Carmin?
I got every ending.
Okay. Carmin got everything. He beat the whole game. The whole disc wiped.
Yep. I sent my PlayStation in. They sent it back. No save data. Let's go.
What did you think about Kingdom Hearts, Josh? What was your thoughts on that? Because we're a little torn here.
My thoughts on Kingdom Hearts are complex. Do you guys have time for an entire Kingdom Hearts rant today?
Sure,
Go
on.
for it. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I think that Kingdom Hearts peaked at Kingdom Hearts 2.
I agree.
I would say that every Kingdom Hearts game since Birth by Sleep has been like getting a bit convoluted. And I don't just mean the story, I mean in regards to actual like game mechanics and gameplay. And I watched a YouTube video about this like about a week and a half ago, and it sums up like my thoughts on the series basically as a whole in a very succinct way, and I'll give that to you now. In Kingdom Hearts 1, The game in its franchise was kind of new. It was very experimental with like its ARPG mechanics, but like nothing in the game was like super broken or anything along those lines, because all the things that you could do are very simple. It's a very simple game. And then Kingdom Hearts 2 comes along and then expands on all those options in major ways, while adding new options that lead into like more that you can do with just your normal options. Here's an example. So like in Kingdom Hearts 1, you basically had like general like Keyblade combat, you had magic, and you had summons, and that was basically it until like they did the remake and then added a couple of extra options from like later games. So that's a thing. And then in Kingdom Hearts 2, they added like drive forms, and the drive forms basically made all the other things you could do other than summons even better, and then gave you new summons that were even better than the ones you had before. And so like in my mind, Kingdom Hearts 2 is the game where all of the options that you have, because you have a lot of options when you play a Kingdom Hearts game in regards to how you want to handle every gameplay scenario. There are lots of options and they're all good. They're all feel very like good to use. They all have paths to make them better. Like you can level up your drive forms, you can get better magic spells, you can level up your summons. Like all of those things get better either over time or as you like go farther in the game, and they get better on their own, like your magic spells. And then we get to Birth by Sleep. And this is where I feel the game starts to give you too many options, and only a few of them are good enough to use all the time. Like I forget what they're even called, like style commands. Those are really cool. I really like that idea. Like the more I fight with a specific style, the more my character can like be better at doing it and then like go into their own like super form. It was basically like expanded drive forms in my opinion, but like a bit more diverse. And I enjoyed that. I think Birth by Sleep is still a great game, but for the most part, if you're playing the game in a major way, you basically just spam magic spells, because your command deck is like literally the only thing you ever actually have to use, because everything dies to it. There's no real reason to use all the other options that the game gives you. And that trend continues into every other Kingdom Hearts game, including Kingdom Hearts 3. But my problem with Kingdom Hearts 3 is that there are far too many options at any given time, given how strong all of them are. And the one that's, in my mind, the most egregious are the Disney rides. Like, I don't think that the Disney rides were a bad idea. I think that if they served like a story purpose, like use in maybe specific boss fights, or if you could like if they were like a summon, like something you have to like spend energy or time on, it would feel more impactful to use rather than just I hit the green enemy and now I'm in a boat. Like that makes no sense to me. So as a whole, I still think Kingdom Hearts 3 is a good game. I just think that it's bogged down by far too many things on a gameplay perspective, and it's bogged down by far too many things in a lore perspective, because the Kingdom Hearts games are crazy. They're just crazy. Like it's impossible to keep track of everything. And Kingdom Hearts 3 tries to like spell things out as time passes, but like if you don't already know that shit, it doesn't matter. Like it doesn't make sense to you.
It's
So
the longest, most confusing story I've ever dealt with in my life.
Yep.
Like, dude, all you need to know is hearts, darkness, friendship, Sora.
Is that all, Jeremy?
And Mickey and Mickey Mouse
and Mickey, and I think there's some ingredients over here. That's all I need to know story wise.
And then they just continually make Sora lose.
Yes.
Now, I think one of the shining factors of the game are the gameplay mechanics. I think that really, and I enjoy the rides. However, what I will agree with on you is I wish it was something that was more impactful. Like, almost every fight you get in, you can do a Disney ride or two, maybe 3, who knows.
And it ends the fight.
Yeah, it does,
yes.
And they're super strong. And I do agree that it would be cool if it was a little bit more of a powerful move. You had to do a few more steps to unlock it. But once you have them, I think they really shine. And I've seen people on the other end of the spectrum, too. They think that those are unneeded and actually quite gaudy. I've seen the word used. So
they're not
really
necessary.
They're not.
They're really
by no means.
pretty to look at, yeah. But
They're only pretty to look at like the first time, and then after that, as soon as you get Thunder, you need nothing else in that game.
Basically.
Like I didn't even get that far, but I did stop using Disney rides because I just didn't want to waste my time with them. Because it's just there are these long animations, and there were so many times where like I wanted to open a treasure chest, but then I just activated the fucking teacups.
Yep.
Because
and now I'm stuck in the teacups
button.
until that timer ends.
I know. Oh my god!
Like there are no enemies around here. Why can I still do this?
Thank you. Yes.
Well, good. I'm glad you got a fresh take on the Kingdom Hearts. I know Carmen's really big, and me and Jeremy had a little bit less of a fun time with it. So it's cool. You know, you had a nice perspective. So you're saying, in a nutshell, that it peaked at Kingdom Hearts 2, and ever since then has slowly been using the same mechanics over and over again?
Well, I wouldn't say the same mechanics. Like, each game has tried something to make itself either different or expand upon an earlier idea in a meaningful way. And to elaborate on that point, I'm going to go back to Birth by Sleep and the style commands. Because, again, I think that those are basically like the expansion of what drive forms should be. And then Kingdom Hearts 3 takes that a step further and adds each one of those like for a Keyblade. And I think that's really cool. Like, Keyblade forms and like leveling up your Keyblades is something that I wish I could have done in Kingdom Hearts 2 instead of just getting the Keyblade with the best stats and then moving on with my life. So like there's a reason to use specific Keyblades if you prefer that style, or if those animations or like that finishing move, you know, does what you resonate with. I think that that's really cool. That's a really cool way to express yourself as you fight. But like basically that plus Thunder is like the only thing you ever have to do in the game.
Thunder, Keyblade, and Thunder.
Yeah.
Until you get the ultimate weapon, if you go for it.
Yeah, and then that's it.
That's how you break the game. The game. Thunder, Toy Story, Keyblade, that's it.
Yeah. But like actually though.
Oh yeah, 100%. I believe you. Trust me. You can break
it.
Every Square Enix game is breakable, and you just got to figure out what it is.
Well, true, but like I think breaking the game is part of the fun. Like I don't think that games shouldn't be breakable, especially if like it's a single player experience. The game should definitely be breakable in that case. But I don't think that one option should break the game immediately. I think breaking the game should be like a combination of characters having ludicrous stats and ridiculous modifiers. In my mind, that's what normally breaks RPGs, but Kingdom Hearts just works a bit differently.
It is its own beast. It's quite its own monster. It's over in the corner by itself, I think.
Yes.
Eating glue.
Yes, it is.
Ouch. I wouldn't go that far.
All right.
That's a bit extreme.
You got anything else, Josh, or do those two pretty much take up all your time?
So yeah, those are really the only recent things that I've been doing. The only other game that I even want to take a hazard to mention, and I kind of don't even want to mention this because it may take some explaining, but there's an older game that I used to play a lot with my friends when I was little. It's called Phantasy Star Online.
I think we don't know nothing about that.
I think we all know a little bit about Phantasy Star Online.
Yeah. And I didn't know about this until like a solid, I want to say a year ago, and I registered for it, but there are actually like free online servers. Like there's a group of people that are so dedicated to the game that they still have like online servers up and running to play through the entirety of that game and its like sequel series, like for free. Like it's just a free download. You can go to the like Phantasy Star Online website and just download it for your computer. And I mean, the game itself is really simple because it was made in like the 2000s. So like it doesn't take a lot of like PC power to run. Like my shitty ass laptop runs it pretty well. And I mean, it's fun. It's old school JRPG. So it's got like a blocky camera, and some of the mechanics are a bit outdated, but it's like fun, nostalgic. And me and my buddies have been playing that now that we know that it's a thing again.
That actually might be something I go take a look at, because I played a lot of Phantasy Star back in the day. Might be worth looking into. And it's funny because a lot of these communities, they have a dedicated support group, and like people still keep these servers up and running. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's absolutely nuts. It's been running for like 20 some years, and I'm like, why? Why?
That's the power of video games. That's all it is.
Yes, it is.
And somebody's got a lot of extra time on their hands.
That is also true.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I couldn't do that. My favorite game was EverQuest, and I think people are still supporting that, but I couldn't sit there and run one of those private servers. It's too tough for me. But let's keep moving. Let's keep rocking. Jeremy, did you play some video games this week?
I did, but I'm probably not going to get nearly as in-depth as Josh did there.
Josh had the rant going.
Damn.
You asked about Kingdom Hearts, man.
No, hey, more power. Let's talk.
Well, first off, I played a little more Devil May Cry 5, and I think I'm on like mission 6 or so. I've only played as the Nero and V so far. Dante hasn't become unlocked yet. I heard that's around mission 10 or 11, but I'm really still loving the crap out of this game. It's like I said before the show, hands are just starting to cramp up so fucking bad. It's a combination of just the button mashing and just me getting old. But man, like I can't play this in super long spurts because I'm just gonna have carpal tunnel syndrome before I'm 40. I've gotten to a point now where it's letting me select which character I want to play as, like Nero or V, and I've been going back to Nero because I just prefer his style. I really like that. It seems like every stage has a boss, and all the boss fights are super fun, with the exception of the one I just fought, which is like this big, like Colossus. It's kind of like this walking tank, and it's just a really long and boring fight, and it's I think they knew it because that's the entire stage. Is you just go right into the boss fight. It's one of those where it's like an AT-AT, and it's just walking around, and you got to attack its legs, and then it falls down, and it shows its weak point, and you attack the weak point, and it gets back up, and you just rinse and repeat. And it's just got such a fucking huge health bar, and you do so little damage. It took me like 20 minutes.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, and yet apparently I did it super fast because I got an S ranking for doing it. I was just like, yeah. So I was like, oh god. So I can only imagine how long people are supposed to take doing this. But that was the only real that was the first boss fight I just did not enjoy. But I'm super loving the story. I just love towards the end of every stage, right before you fight a boss fight, there's always a payphone nearby that you can call Nico. I do this every time, not only because it allows me to like level up and buy new skills, but it seems like every stage it's a unique animation because she comes driving in with your van, and she doesn't just like comes pulling up to you. She like comes out of fucking nowhere. Like I'm out in the middle of the street, I think, oh, she's gonna come down the alley. No, she comes falling from the sky.
Yo, that's sick.
It's so awesome. I was in a subway, and I call her. She's like, yeah, I'm almost there. And then all of a sudden, she comes like out of the fucking ground like Jaws in the fucking van. I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? I love her so much. So funny. Oh, man. But yeah, I'm definitely going to finish this game. I'll never be able to platinum, though, because it's always got those ridiculous requirements. Like, you got to beat it on all the difficulty modes, with one of them being a mode where you die in one hit. So that shit ain't never happened.
Yeah, but that's normal. That's been a thing since DMC2.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's called Heaven or Hell mode. I ain't doing that shit.
Yep.
Yeah. Although I did hear they're adding Bloody Palace mode for free this week, which would be awesome.
That will be awesome.
I remember how I told you the microtransactions are pretty much almost, non-existent in the game. Even though they are there.
Yes,
I did finally find out that there is one bullshit thing where they do kind of encourage you to buy microtransactions, and all the skills you buy in the game are very reasonably priced. Like the most expensive I've seen was like 50,000 orbs, but you get on average about 20,000 orbs per stage, so not too bad. But all three characters, they have a special skill called I guess it's like an X taunt or something. Want to take a guess how many orbs you need to buy this for each character?
Let's say 200.
Let me think. And how many do you get per stage?
About 20,000 per stage, on average.
Let's say
200, though.
Yeah, I was going to say 200,000.
3 million.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Wow!
Damn.
You want to know you want to know how much a million orbs costs in real world money?
$4.99.
$20.
I was about to say probably $19.99.
Damn.
So if
That
you want
is
to buy enough
terrible.
orbs, it's $60 a character. 3 characters, $120. Plus the $60 you already spent on the game.
So
No, that's $180 if it's 3 characters.
Mm-hmm.
So then
Damn.
the logic then would dictate that no one would do it, but you know that there are at least a couple people who might.
Oh, I guarantee it.
Josh, you know there's people there that's got way too much money that's done dropped every bit of money they can on that game. Thousands of dollars.
So naturally, I got my parents' credit card, and I bought about 3 million orbs last night. Oh, no. I mean, like, the game is super fun, so I could definitely see myself, like, grinding just for orbs, but I don't think I'm ever going to get 9 million orbs.
Yeah.
Just fuck that shit.
I don't see that either. That seems egregious.
Yeah. I honestly, I could see, because Capcom's been doing pretty damn good lately. I could see them possibly doing an update in the future where they take the EA route and they kind of lower the fucking price a little bit. Like, remember when they did that with, was it Battlefront? Where all, like, the Star Wars characters were, like, super ridiculously expensive and they got all that shit and they finally lowered it.
Yes.
To make it at least a bit more reasonable. I mean, just make them, you could even make it, like, 1 million per character. That's a lot more reasonable. Still ridiculously high, but doable.
That feels like I just need to play for a couple hours and get it. Now I need to play for days.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I always went back and I replayed through Devil May Cry 3 and 4 like so many times when I was younger because I just loved those games so much. I bought all the skills and I was just playing for fun, getting to see what rankings I could get, if I could do all the special missions. And eventually, you get to a point where you max out your red orbs. But, goddamn, 9 million? That shit ain't happening, bro.
So now that you're into a little bit more, you still giving it a pretty high rating? It was a 9.5,
I
think, last time.
Oh, dude, like, so far, it's my number one game of the year.
Okay.
So far. So.
Okay.
Now, that could always change. Depends what comes down the pipeline, but it's probably going to be in the top 5 this year.
Well, Destiny 2 came out. Not Destiny 2. Fuck. Division 2 came out Friday.
I know. I'm divided on that.
But you got anything else, Jeremy, or did that pretty much take up all your time?
No.
Actually, I know you got something else. Hang on.
Yeah,
Tell us about it. Yeah. I forgot about it.
Yeah, I keep you on, keeping you boys waiting.
Yeah,
I got that old One Piece World Seeker the other day.
Yes. So,
I forgot about that game.
Yes.
We talked about it, and then I was, we were kind of excited, but we're like, it's probably not going to be very good. It's an open world One Piece game, and then all of a sudden there's a couple really good reviews. So Jeremy's like, I'm pre-ordering it.
Yeah, because like I was when it first was announced, I was super interested in it. But then kind of like the more I saw, I kind of got a little out of it and so forth. And then reviews started coming in, and like we said, I saw Game Informers which gave it an 8 out of 10. They said it was like the best One Piece game ever made. I was like, fuck yeah. And then I saw IGN's, which was like a 4.8. They said it was boring and mediocre. And then like we started looking them up, and it's just all over the place. It was, people giving it like 8s, people giving it 4s, and so forth. So I'm a huge One Piece fan, so I decided I'm going to just go ahead and buy that bitch. And I've really been enjoying it so far.
That's what I wanted to hear. God, I was worried you were going to say it sucked.
Yeah. No, this is IGN. I'm convinced didn't play more than like an hour or so.
Okay.
I will say it does have its problems. It's far from perfect, and I would definitely say this is not a game that's for non One Piece fans. If you're not a One Piece fan, you're probably not going to enjoy it that much. If you are a One Piece fan, though, I really recommend getting it. Plot wise, this could be canon. It does make sense. It's Luffy and his crew hear of a island, like a prison island, and supposedly there's a huge vault there with a bunch of marine treasure, and so Luffy purposely gets himself captured so they can all break into the vault, but they find out there's nothing there, and it was just a trap to get them captured. Luffy escapes, but his crew scatters, and so basically I'm at the point now where I'm trying to find my crew. I found Chopper, and I'm still looking for the others. And of course, you got this big old island that you can go around, you can explore. I love moving around with Luffy. You don't have very many moves to start off with. The only real movement he can do, aside from running, is he can do his gum. Like he stretch his arm out and just grab onto a ledge and pull himself up. But I've been pouring all my skill points into movement, so I can do the rocket where he just flings himself forward. I got Gum UFO, which allows him to hover in the air for a while. I've been looking at all these skill trees, and there's so much shit I want to buy. There's just so much cool stuff. The combat, super fun. When you first start the game, Luffy, he already has observation hockey, which like, this is what I think is really cool. He has observation hockey, and he's also got armament hockey, which I think you unlock after the second mission. And you can switch these at any time, and they affect not only how he moves in the game, but also in his combat styles. Like in observation hockey, he moves a bit faster. He's more of a agile fighter. He can dodge quick. He can do like gum Gatling. He's in like second gear most of the time, and he can also activate observation hockey at any time, and it acts like detective vision in Arkham.
Okay.
Yeah. However, unlike Arkham City, though, you can only use it for a limited amount of time, and then it has to recharge. So you can't just keep this going on the whole game, which I think is a good idea. And then if you go to armament mode, that's basically your like brawler mode. Like this one, Luffy moves a bit slower, but he goes into third gear. So he's doing like the gigantic pistol, and he's covering his arms in armament hockey. He's doing like the big stand, where he gets his foot giant and just kicks the shit out of you and so forth. I really use these when I'm fighting like the heavy guards to break their guard. It does a shit ton of damage. You can't dodge anymore, but he can like put his guard up to reduce incoming attacks. And haven't unlocked. I'm sure there's like Conqueror's Hockey because there is a tree I haven't unlocked yet in the skill one, and I have heard fourth gear is also available in the game, but I'm sure that's later on too.
That's cool.
So yeah, but I heard it's only the bounce man, so not the snake form. But I'm not surprised on that. I've already fought Smoker. That was a good fight. If like I said I had a few qualms with it, and first of all, the cutscenes are very good. I thought those were great. I haven't experienced any frame dropping issues, but I will say, like, I don't like how you talk to people in the game, because you can walk up and talk to people, but instead of like just talking to them, it like cuts to black, and then it cuts back, and it shows Luffy talking to them, and then afterwards it cuts to black and cuts back to the world so you can move around again. Like a weird little cutscene almost. And all it is just they open their mouth once and then say the dialogue, and then that's it. So it doesn't take long. It's not even loading. It's just kind of awkward. I don't know why they did that. Also, I think this game has like one of the worst lock-on systems I've ever seen. Like, it's not that it doesn't work, it's just it's unnecessarily convoluted. Like, when you play a game with a lock-on system, what do you normally do? You press, like, what, R1 or
you press a button
like
and it just locks onto him.
Exactly. This game, you see the enemy, and then he becomes targeted. You then have to press left or right on the D-pad, and that'll, like, lock onto him. But if you want the camera to follow him, you then have to press down the R3, and then it'll follow him. Yeah, it's like extra steps that's just unnecessary. I'm like, you could just press L or R, and that's it. I mean, like, left or right on the D-pad, and that should be it. And that should just lock on. If you want to switch enemies, press the button the opposite direction. That's all you should have to do. But other than that, like, I really can't think of much else that I'm really having issues with. I think I've been playing for like 4 hours or so, and it's doing a good job of pushing me forward with the story. Oh, I do have one other last issue. While combat is fun, fighting the guards and stuff is just a little bit pointless because they almost never give you SP. Experience points, which you need to buy
stupid.
Stuff. Yeah, like the majority of it you get from doing like main missions. Like, it's so weird. I could fight like 10 guards, and then it'll just randomly say you gained 1 SP, and like the average ability costs like 1 to 200 SP to get.
That's terrible.
Weird.
Yeah,
and unnecessary.
Yeah, so exactly. Like, I would think, give me like 10 SP, or at least 1 SP per guard or something. But I mean, you get so much SP from actually doing missions, it kind of makes it doesn't matter anyway. But so I do find myself running away from guards sometimes, unless I have to like clear them out for a mission or whatnot.
Maybe that's meant to prevent grinding.
It could be. I mean, I haven't really had to grind yet. I haven't died yet. I had one time where I came close to dying. I just kind of ran away and waited till my health came back and returned, like any other game.
I know it's open world, but it's a little bit on rails, isn't it?
Actually, no.
Oh,
It's pretty much right up.
I read a review or saw something that said it was a little on rails.
Well, I mean, like, you can explore the entirety of the world right off the bat if you want. There's really nothing stopping you from going anywhere you want, but there's really not much to do because, like, you have to progress the story, obviously, to make icons pop up, like any other game. But, like, if you want to go to the other end of the island, you can just go for it. That's what I did. I actually ended up, I looked on my map, and I was supposed to go to the other end of the island for a story section. I ended up going the wrong way. I went the back way, but because I was able to like finagle Luffy's moves, I was able to like basically glide across this huge chasm I wasn't supposed to, and just went the back way into the city, which is kind of cool. But yeah, there's nothing really stopping you.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah,
I call that the Breath of the Wild effect.
The Breath of the Wild effect.
Yeah,
I still haven't played
exactly.
Breath of the Wild. I need to play that game.
You're doing
Yeah,
yourself a disservice.
I mean, I know it's good. I just gotta. I've got to play it when I have this like big chunk of time laid out, like a few months, where I know I don't have anything else.
That's fair.
Now, Jeremy, early impressions. Where you at with it?
I would say right now I would probably give it like a 7.5 maybe.
7.5 bags of dicks.
Yeah, I'm liking the story a lot. Graphics are good. Really loving the combat. Aside from just those few little nitpicks here and there, like only thing that's keeping it from getting really higher is I do wish you could play as the other Straw Hats. I know this game is made for Luffy and it's just be able to traverse around the environment, but it would be cool to be able to play as Zoro or Sanji or something.
Yes,
just have those different fight styles. I mean, everyone's in the game, but they're mostly there just to give you quests and fulfill various functions. Like I've been getting a bunch of materials. I'm pretty much assuming that I give these either Frankie or Usopp to make shit for me. So
yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, I gotta find them first. And I will say it was super cool to go on the Thousand Sunny and just like walk around on it. And of course the first thing I did was I got up on Luffy's perch.
Of course you did.
Right on the line head. You gotta do that.
Very cool. Very cool. Sounds like a good game. I'm excited for it.
Yes. I recommend it for you.
Okay.
How do you like what seems like 12 seconds to open up a chest?
Oh, yes. Thank you for mentioning that. That is... They for some reason, opening a chest takes like... I'm not even kidding, like 5 or 6 seconds. You have to sit there and hold the triangle button. I looked in the skill tree. There's actually a skill you can buy to shorten the length to open chests.
That's some that is some
That
fucking
is-
bullshit.
And it costs like 300 SP too. It's one of the more expensive skills. Fuck that shit.
Yep,
That's so stupid.
Just wait your 19 seconds to get your loot.
Exactly. Oh, that's the last thing I'm buying. There's so much other cool shit I want to get first.
That is shitty. Come on now.
Dude.
That's just fucking stupid, man.
It's one of the things I noticed when I was watching the stream. It's like the game is like looks super fun.
Yep.
It's
that was
like we discussed via text. I believe it's a total fan game. If you're not a fan, you probably won't enjoy it as much, which may have been part of IGN's review problem, and it's not for you.
I mean, that was I'm so glad you mentioned it because the first time I found a chest, I was like, "Oh right, treasure." I sat there, I was holding the triangle button, I was just like, "Really? Wow!" And it finally opens up. I'm like, "Jesus Christ! I could just kick the damn thing open faster." Like Luffy, smash it, Jesus!
That's
Anytime
awesome.
a game gives you the ability to buy with like in-game points a thing that shouldn't take that long to begin with,
Yes.
I feel like that's a bad design decision.
Absolutely. I don't know what they were smoking. Like, I will say this, when I was reading Game Informer's review, they were talking about, like, all of the skills are worthwhile, except for, like, a small handful. They're just kind of like, why would you ever want this? And I'm guessing that's what they were talking about. Open treasure chests slightly faster.
Yeah, that just sounds like a goofy attribute to put in there.
It's like in the Zelda games where it's just, you start off with that wall that holds like 100 rupees. I'm like, just let me carry 999 rupees to begin with.
But for real though.
Yeah.
What who made this game? Bandai Namco?
Bandai Namco.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
They usually
Who
do
else
better
would
than
make a
that. So I'm
One Piece game?
a little disappointed.
All the anime games are made by Bandai Namco.
Yeah, they
Pretty
they
much.
Gotta be. But,
Yeah, I think
you know,
you're
they do
right.
good- For the majority, they do good with them, if you really think about it.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I mean, Fighter Z.
Man, Fighter Z
fucking
was
awesome.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big
Jump
shining
Force is
star
better
for
than I
them.
thought, So yeah.
Josh, I know your fighter game. You played Jump Force any?
I tried it.
Wasn't your thing?
Like, I really don't like arena fighters.
I got you.
It's just not my thing. I'm not gonna say that I need like a 2D fighting game. Like, it doesn't have to fight like Dragon Ball or like Street Fighter or whatever. Like, I'll play Tekken, I'll play Soul Calibur. Like, I have no problem with 3D games. I have a problem with what feels like flashy nonsense for no apparent reason.
Hey, I do like Jump Force, but I cannot deny a lot of it is flashy nonsense.
And the
It's
difference
all
between
it's
Jump
a lot of
Force
spectacle.
and Tekken and Soul Calibur is like the depth of the arenas.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, like, Jump Force has a much bigger arena.
Yeah, that's what I mean. The arenas, the depth of the arenas are much deeper.
Oh, well, yeah.
So, like, your character can be really far away and then all of a sudden right on top of you.
I think that's part of the strategy, though. You know, it's kind of like how the Ultimate Ninja games were for Naruto.
Yeah. I'd say, like, Ultimate Ninja, Budokai Tenkaichi. I'm trying to think of any other games that I can think of that function that way. But all of them
J-Stars, they did that.
Also true.
Poorly.
But, like, I just... Like, so I've been playing fighting games so long that I hate fighting games with bad mechanics.
Like, this sucks. I know this sucks.
So, I mean, no, nothing against you if you like Jump Force. I think it's a fun game. It's definitely fun to play on a casual level, but like, I don't think we're ever gonna see like Jump Force tournaments because
no.
What would you do other than nothing?
I don't think there's any arena fighters out there that would ever be like pro level shit.
No,
you know, no. It's always too. I can absolutely get behind that. I'm never gonna sit here and say Jump Force is like fucking Street Fighter levels or Mortal Kombat levels. It's fucking not. I like it because I'm just a fan of a lot of these animes. I do enjoy the arena fighters, but I'm not gonna sit there and lie and say there's so many other better fighting games out there. Plain simple. I play it for the spectacle, pretty much.
And there's nothing wrong with that at all. Spectacle is a fantastic thing to have in a fighting game. We know that people like it. That's why Fighter Z did so well when it was released. But I mean, spectacle with good combat makes a good game.
Oh yeah, Fighter Z's that all the way.
What else you got, Jeremy? Is that it?
That was it.
Sounds like you got a good bit of gaming in, so that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
You said you weren't going to go as in depth as me, you liar.
He did go pretty in depth, so
I know.
He caught the bug.
Surprised.
You're infectious, Josh. He caught the itch. Wait till you get to me. It's gonna be fucking terrible.
We'll get to the news in about an hour and a half. So
that's fine.
Hang on there,
Carmin. I believe it's your turn to take center stage here and let us know what you've been playing.
Well, guys, I don't even know why I'm on the show. I don't even play video games. How did I even end up here? Is the real question.
You're the tech guy.
Yeah. So, guys, I'll keep it short. I played some Rocket League, I played some Apex, and I played some Tetris 99.
Yo.
I got 17th earlier today with 6 knockouts, and then I panicked and shit the bed.
The highest I've done is 10.
Yeah, I got an 11 once, and that's my overall best. The game is super fun, and I'm starting to pick up on some of the strategies that need to occur, like changing your battle stick and all of that as to what you're targeting. But I'm going to catch me a dub one of these days.
My biggest problem with that is that, like, because of the way the game works, so many people can dump on you so quickly that there's nothing you can do about it.
I've literally been the first person out, Josh.
I've
gotten dicked on that hard.
I believe
it is. Sometimes it's ruthless. I mean, you'll start it and you'll have like 6 people's lines on you, and you're like, "Fuck, I'm gonna get screwed."
Yeah, they can just dominate you on doubles and triples that way.
Yep, that's normally what happens.
2 T-spins, fuck, you're out.
See you next round. Fuck.
Yep.
You basically, yeah.
Let me wait fucking a minute and a half for matchmaking. Thanks. But that's it. That's all I've been playing, and I'm playing Tap Titans right now.
That's your go-to, so you didn't really stray out of the norm?
Nope, I will be straying out of the norm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tonight.
Right. We will be straying out of the norm, for sure. Because we start...
But I'll let you talk about what you've been playing, boy. All
right. So, like many of us here, except for Jeremy, I played a lot of Apex Legends. I unlocked Caustic for... What level is it? I think at level 23 you can unlock a character, so I haven't spent any money on the game yet.
Me neither.
Like Josh, I'm main Lifeline. I don't think I've ever said that, but Lifeline is my main. I like healing and being able to pick up real quick. So I've been playing a lot of Apex. That's probably the most addicting game I'm hooked on right now. Playing some Tetris 99. That's usually how I end the night. 3 or 4 games of that. I have got top 10, but the highest I've ever got is 10. So, and I've also been put out first, so I know the pain of just jumping in and getting killed immediately.
Oh yeah. It's brutal.
Yeah, and it makes you feel like a complete failure. I'm just like, come on. Like, I can do something, but you can't. It just stacks up on you so fast.
You know it's coming when the blocks on the left are red.
Yep.
I know.
If they're fucking red, just put the controller down and just say, I'll see you next time.
Just let it happen.
Just accept
Just
it.
take me. Take me, daddy.
Just hit up like 15 times and make yourself lose.
Yes. So yeah, I played some of that, and then I played like a couple of rounds of Rumble on Rocket League with Carmin and Will. That's always fun. And play a lot of NBA 2K Playgrounds. I really like that game. I would say I went ahead and bought the roster. That's what I did on the first one. And I've done some some seasonal stuff. I've done some 3-point shootouts. Haven't played online yet. That's the next step.
You getting that platinum?
Oh yeah, I'll definitely jump right on that platinum, and then realize that it doesn't exist. I spent so much time on NBA Playgrounds to platinum that game. Finished every trophy, then realized there's not a platinum trophy for it.
I'm so sorry.
I was so upset, Josh. I was so upset.
We wouldn't even give him an honorary platinum, Josh.
That's.
It was terrible.
I'm so sorry. That
so,
sounds awful.
Yeah, it was. I try not to think about the dark times.
The dark times.
In the long, long ago.
And let's see. Oh yeah, I bought. There was a flash sale on the PlayStation going on, and I bought the Divinity Original Sin. I think I talked about it last week. I've been playing some of it.
Yep.
That's a really cool RPG. It's a turn-based RPG. It's a top-down. Reminds me a lot of Diablo, but just like a turn-based Diablo. It's really cool. I'm in a town right now trying to solve a murder. I like that game a lot. So I've been playing a little bit of my normal stuff, and then me and Carmen had to go to we went to a housewarming for a buddy this weekend, so we downloaded oh god, I got a cough. We downloaded The Division on Friday, and we haven't got to play it yet, so I think we're going to be jumping on that thing tonight.
Nice.
So I'm excited. I've been really stoked for The Division.
I've heard that like with a lot of the looter shooters nowadays, that it's one of the ones that's like doing it right, but I'm not really interested in playing it because I got burned by Destiny and Anthem, and I'm just not really interested anymore in the genre.
Ooh. That's a double burn right there.
See, but Destiny doesn't burn as much as Anthem.
That's fair. And I was actually excited for Anthem. I thought it was going to be different, and then it wasn't.
Yeah, until you realized it was a Warframe clone.
Basically.
And not very good at it.
This morning, me and Carmen were in the hotel room, and I was listening to Gamertag Radio, which is one of the podcasts I listen to. And one of the hosts was saying, this game was acceptable back in 2007.
For real.
But it's not acceptable now, not with the caliber of game coming out. And it's true. I mean, it's not... I mean, if you're having fun with it, you're having fun with it. Obviously. That's cool. Whatever. But it's not what it needs to be.
Not by a long shot. And I don't know exactly who to blame. We can blame EA regardless. But, like, I don't know how much of this is EA or how much of this is BioWare. And I will go to bat for BioWare until the day I die. Because one of my favorite things in this entire... Like, in the history of gaming, one of my favorite things of all time is the Mass Effect series. I'm pretty sure I mentioned it last time I was on the channel, or last time I was on the podcast. And, like, it's just my favorite series. And so, like, it's a thing. We don't need to talk about it again. But, like, I know that BioWare is capable of fantastic things. I just don't know how much of it they actually had control over. Because the more I learn, the more it seems as though... Like, some of these are BioWare decisions, not EA decisions. But I know that BioWare is at least trying to make the game better, which is a big step in the right direction, but that doesn't mean Anthem's any better for it.
My thought is, I mean, no developer comes in and says, you know, I'm going to make the shittiest game I can. They obviously come in and they say, I want to make the best game I can. And the deadlines aren't set by the developer. I'm sure they have a soft deadline. But the real hard deadlines are set by whoever produces the game.
That's fair.
You know, lay the blame where you want. I'm sure it was a deadline issue. They're like, you got to get this game out and just, you know, make it playable. That's what I think happened.
I think personally the biggest thing that was the issue for a lot of people with Anthem is the fact that EA hyped it up to be like literally the next greatest thing ever. And it was a game, like you said, that would have been acceptable like 10 years ago. Like, the game just has a lot of problems, and those problems should not have existed in the first place. So Like, I don't know how I feel. Like, on the one hand, I mean, playing the game is enjoyable. Like, I like fucking Iron Man suiting around this vast, unnecessary wasteland feels fun. Like, it's very fun to interact with enemies and to, like, chuck powerful abilities everywhere. And, like, the fact that each like type of javelin has like an ultimate is really interesting, and like there's an aspect of team combination that can like come together when you're playing as a team and you all have different javelins, and like I think that there's lots of things to enjoy about the game. I just it feels as though the goods of the game don't outweigh the bad right now, and I don't know if it's ever going to actually get there.
Yeah, and hopefully they'll probably this is probably going to be another. I think we compare it to No Man's Sky. It'll probably be another one of those where in a year, maybe 2 years, it'll be the game it should have been.
And that's unfortunate that we have to do that.
It is. It really is. Because it has like the skeleton that I've seen of it when I played the beta. I mean, the skeleton was good. It just the enemies they were not thought through. The guns just felt like they were all the same gun. Nothing was special about them. You know, the flight was great. You're right, and like basically an Iron Man game is what it is. You're flying through in a mech suit. But other than that, like the world was just it felt empty. You know,
it didn't feel empty. It legitimately just is empty.
Yeah, beautiful. The graphics they got right.
Yeah, but like graphics don't make good gameplay.
You're right. So, you know, I'm sure we'll be talking about Anthem for a while, but I think Division 2 is, you know, if you are any kind of a looter shooter fan, they're doing everything that the Division fixed. So when the Division launched, it was a little rough, and then they finally fixed it and made it a well-oiled machine. They brought all that to Division 2 and polished that, and so I'm hearing, from what I'm hearing, the gameplay is amazing. So I'm really excited to jump in that.
You guys should tell me how that goes for you.
I will. We'll tell you. We'll let you know. I'm sure we'll get some play in today and probably be on the rest of the week every night. So we'll let you know how it goes.
Some of my buddies are telling me I should get it, but I'm not going to spend $60 on it if I know I'm not going to enjoy it. So
maybe wait, like hold off and see what you think. I mean, what people are saying about it, and I mean, if you're not a huge fan of that genre, I mean, you know, this could be the game that would bring you to the dark side.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say that I'm not a fan of the genre. I've been playing Warframe for years, but like So I had a really funny conversation with a friend of mine on Xbox, because he is like all about the Division, because he was all about Destiny, but then like fell out, and so then he basically went to the Division and has almost exclusively played that. And I understand why he likes it, but like my biggest issue with the Division specifically is that because of the fact that it's grounded in realism and that like you're dealing with like actual people doing actual people things, it feels really weird to me to play a game where I'm playing as an actual person and then I empty a clip into another actual person and they don't die. But that's just me, and that doesn't have to be an issue with the game, because obviously it's a numbers game at the end of the day. But it was a lot easier for me to accept that when I'm dealing with like aliens or like shit that isn't grounded in the like the normal laws of reality. It makes sense to me that this alien eye thing in Destiny can take like 15 shots from my rocket launcher because it's like an alien eye powered by like space magic. But I'm blasting clips into this guy's face and he's not dead. Like what? He's a dude.
I'm pretty sure that you just the way you just described a servitor is one of the coolest things I've ever heard. It's an alien space eye powered by space magic that can take 15 rocket launcher shots to the eyeball. That's what made Destiny good. Things like that.
I mean, I don't think Destiny's bad. I just think that like it's Activision, right? It's Activision.
It is, yeah. Destiny's Activision.
I don't think that Destiny's bad. I think that Activision should not have played a role in it.
You're right. I mean, they chopped it up and did the DLC route when it could have dropped as a whole story. But now that Bungie has split from Activision, I expect big things.
I don't know yet, because I'm afraid that they will make another Destiny game, and if they make another Destiny game, I don't know if it's even going to be the same type of game, because the game that we got with both Destiny 1 and 2 was not the game they wanted to make, and so I almost wonder if the next game that Bungie makes might be something wholly different. I don't know. I think they're going to do something else with the Destiny franchise, but I would be more interested to see what their original idea for Destiny should have been.
Well, they could do, and this is just, coming from a lowly video game fan, they could always go the prequel route, put all the mechanics they wanted to use in the original Destiny in the prequel,
I guess
and
that's
then
fair.
move that way. Plenty of games do that.
That is fair.
But that's just me. Hey, who knows? Who cares, right?
No, I think that the lay people's voices have power. We just need them to be speaking the right things.
You're right, but I think overall, I mean, you gotta vote with your wallet, I guess. I mean, that's how you do it.
Yep.
Be vocal, but then if you don't like the game, don't buy the game.
Yep.
When they make the fixes, buy the game. Then they know. All right, well that's it. That's all I played. Did we miss anything? Did y'all want to go over anything else before we get into the news?
I'm good.
We're good. We're ready.
I don't want to
We're
keep
only
you guys here
1
for
hour
another
in the
30
podcast.
minutes, so.
Having this killer conversation.
Fuck it, and play on and stay hella average.
I was gonna say.
All right, well, let's get into it because it's time for some news. All right, so first thing up on the list, we have Battlefield 5's Firestorm mode dropping March 25th. And for those who don't know, that is their Battle Royale mode. Thoughts, guys? Are we ready for another Battle Royale
everybody
game?
be quiet. Everybody be quiet. Can you hear my eyes rolling?
I think I felt the wind.
I thought that was mine.
We do not need another Battle Royale game. Not
is
that
it misplaced? I mean,
it's just mistimed.
Too late?
It's like they're following like Call of Duty. They're not following the Apex. They're not following Apex. They did this because of Fortnite. And then their biggest shooter rival, Call of Duty, has what's it called? Blackout?
Yep.
That's it.
So, like, you have that, and that's the only reason they're putting this in there. There's no reason for a fucking Battlefield Battle Royale. Battlefield is supposed to be war. It is a Battle Royale on its own. You fucking die and that's it. Be done.
That's fair.
It's just like, it's a waste, and it's like, let's just continue to flood the market and do nothing innovative with it. It's like I had my qualms at first about Tetris 99. Like, did we really need another Battle Royale? But because it was a fresh take on it, and it wasn't necessarily the same shooter thing, then it works. But this is just going to be a better PUBG, which isn't hard to do.
PUBG's apparently making a lot of moves, so just wait for it. It's coming. Don't you worry.
Yeah, a lot of moves. Straight into the toilet. I just don't think it needs to happen.
Josh, where do you stand on the Battle Royale? And obviously, so I think we can all agree the market's oversaturated.
Yeah.
Do you think we need another Battle Royale?
So I feel about Battle Royale the same way I feel about loot boxes, the same way I feel about multiplayer and single player games, the same way I feel about basically any industry fad, because I don't think that anyone who releases a Battle Royale mode for a game that is already out, or like that has been out or whatever, is actually trying to make Battle Royale. And I think that's what I was trying to say about Apex, and why I think Apex is different, because it was built to be Battle Royale from the ground up. They didn't make Titanfall 3 and then add a Battle Royale mode to it. This is Apex Legends. It is just Battle Royale, and that's it. And that's the problem that I had with Fortnite. That's the problem that I had with even PUBG, for example, because PUBG wasn't supposed to be Battle Royale, but like that's what it became off of the Arma 2 mod or whatever it was beforehand. So like my issue with a lot of these bandwagoners, I'm going to call them, is that like was said previously, it's literally just adding to the market. It's not doing anything different. It's not trying to like make the thing better. It's trying to just cash in on a thing that I feel is no longer even relevant. And an example that I can give of this is, you remember Tomb Raider, like the first like Tomb Raider reboot game that had a multiplayer mode in it. Do you remember that?
No, I never played a multiplayer Tomb Raider in my life.
But that's the thing. It had it there. It was there. It was the thing that they spent development resources on in a Tomb Raider game. Tomb Raider. But like when that game came out,
just like 100 Lord Cross running around?
Basically. You could be a bunch of different characters from the games, and like the actual play, like the character you were playing as, wasn't really relevant. But like, why was it a thing? It was a thing because it was successful in a bunch of other things, and because games take years to make. Whenever something falls out of like grace, we don't want to just spend a year and a half, 2 years making this thing. They still want it to come to fruition, even though it doesn't need to be at that point. Like, I am 100% on the bandwagon that we don't need this, but it's going to get made, it's going to get played, and then it's going to get dropped because I don't think anyone wants this even.
Yeah, and I'm a Battlefield fan, and I'm going to play it just to try it, but it's probably not going to be bad. DICE is pretty good at making the Battlefield games. It's probably not going to be bad.
Well, Blackout's not bad, but it's unnecessary.
I agree. And I think Blackout is actually a pretty good version of a Battle Royale game.
Probably.
But, when it comes to Battlefield, their niche the whole time has been widespread online warfare.
Yeah. So why... I mean, maybe Battle Royale is an extension of what already exists, but even then, like, I don't see why we need to... I don't see it. I just don't see it.
Gotcha. I agree. I tend to agree with you. And speaking of, I know we had this a little bit down on the news list here. We can go ahead and move in. Brendan Green, who is Mr. PUBG himself, kind of tweeted out that he's moving to a whole new development role on PUBG. Apparently, the PUBG proper is being ran pretty well by now, and he's moving into a different role. So, I mean, I think that they are trying to be dynamic and continue to change, but when it comes to, like, I know that PUBG kind of led the way, and it started itself off of mod, but, now to me, and this could just be the way I'm looking at it, the lens that I see it through, it seems irrelevant almost at this point. You don't hear a lot about it. It's kind of in the background compared to the other ones.
Because it is.
Well, that's the thought. I wanted to make sure it wasn't just me.
No, you're absolutely correct. PUBG is obsolete. And at this point, so is Fortnite.
Those are strong words.
That's strong.
I stand by it.
Fortnite's going to continue to just pull ideas from people that get things right. Like, they're copying the shit out of Apex.
Yeah.
But they know that they have kids by the balls. And they have streamers by the balls.
That sounded terrible. They got kids by the balls.
It's a little Michael Jackson mixed with a little Cosby, but...
It's a Kevin Spacey, Michael Jackson combo.
But sprinkle in a little R. Kelly, and then we're in there.
I think that's the problem. Is R. Kelly's sprinkling on the kids.
I'm fighting for my life.
Easy now.
Okay. So, yeah, like... Fortnite's going to be able to stay alive only because they have... known how to stop the bubble from popping.
True.
Fortnite has been a bubble since day one.
Yep.
And somehow the fucking bubble can hold more air.
Well, no, you explained exactly why. It's because they've got all these different groups of people like already committed.
Yeah, no, they have all these people. But you can see that it is on the decline because Ninja's numbers when he is truly live, not when he's playing a replay, his numbers are down to like 30,000 viewers.
I'm not surprised.
And I mean, that's the natural progression of Twitch, but that's also the natural progression of the game that he's playing predominantly.
I agree because I watch Twitch at work every day. Every single day I've got Twitch up. And like, for instance, right now, Dr. Disrespect, who's probably one of the top 10 streamers, he's playing Apex. When he's playing Apex, he's getting, I would say, averaging 28,000 views. When Ninja's playing Fortnite, you're right, he's right in the 30s. So he's definitely... I mean, you say declining, but he's still getting 30,000 people watching him. But yeah,
but you have to think it's a major. It's probably a 60% decrease when he was getting 100,000.
Yeah, I agree. And it's not him; it's Fortnite. And then Ninja will move on whenever the next big game hits, like the next really big wave hits. He'll jump on that and it'll go back up.
I'm actually surprised he didn't go over to Apex, or maybe he will as time passes.
Well, I think I saw that. Who made Apex? Was that
EA?
That's EA.
Respawn.
EA. I heard EA recently paid Ninja like $1 million to stream Apex.
They did. They paid him to stream day one. Yeah.
It was day 2
or day 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's. I mean, I'm sure they do it all the time. Like, if people think that doesn't happen, of course it does. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm not shitting on him for it, but I'm saying, like, I think he's gonna. If Fortnite does start to tank his numbers, he's gonna move on to Apex.
He may,
because he's good. He's good with battle royales. That's the thing, and I think honestly, he's only gonna be in trouble when the battle royale bubble bursts, where people just aren't interested in battle royales anymore, and they're into, I don't know, puzzle games or some shit.
He'll be fine as long as there's shooters to play.
Yeah,
because he was a professional Halo player.
Yeah.
Oh.
So if it's shooters, I mean, he's a pro player.
Yeah.
But you're right, Jeremy. If it switches off and the next big game is, I don't know, True Life, the RPG, he might not be the one that he goes to. He might not have the same jokes he needs that he does for the shooters.
Yeah, he'll still have his fans, obviously, but you're not going to have, like, the droves of kids watching him anymore. Because, they moved on to, the next big thing. So I'm just saying, bank up that money. He's making it. He could retire, honestly, probably.
He could retire right now and be set for the rest of his life.
Exactly. So he's not hurting. I'm just saying, like, he should be wise and just, put some of that money aside just in case, the bubble bursts.
And, going back to the PUBG, we had another story about teenagers who were playing PUBG Mobile, right? And this was over in India. And PUBG is not, like, really illegal in India except for one spot. The place is called, like, Gujarat or Gujarat. I'll butcher the name, so it doesn't matter. They banned PUBG because it was too addicting, and kids were spending too much time on it. So they actually arrested 16 teenagers who were playing PUBG Mobile, like, together, and it blows my mind. And in the article that we read, it said, like, the kids were so engrossed in the game, they didn't even look up to see the police coming to arrest them.
I just like to imagine that they arrested them for playing PUBG in 2019. That's the reason. Like, you know what year it is? Come on.
Thank goodness we're in America. Could you imagine being in a place where it's illegal to play a video game and being a video game fan?
I mean, I think in that point, if video games were, like, on a strong ban, it's like, I wouldn't move there, but if I was born there and grew up there, you just wouldn't know any better. So
That's true, fair. Yeah. Yeah, they probably don't get a whole lot.
Yeah, if you never had them, but I mean, like I said, like the article made it out, the only place in India that the PUBG was illegal is this one town.
So weird.
Yeah, that is
that
weird.
One town.
Well, if you think about it, like, gaming as a whole is very different in a lot of other places, and like, it is in some degrees more than just a hobby. Like, it's considered a very lucrative hobby here in the US, but for some people it's, like, legitimately a lifestyle. And so there's a bunch of situations where, like, people will, like, just do shit, like crazy shit. There's literally like gold farmers in World of Warcraft as, like, a job. That's a job.
Yeah.
You can literally like get paid to farm gold in World of Warcraft in China. That is an actual career.
Oh, yeah, like in China and Korea, they love them MMOs, man. That's their life.
Yeah,
that's all they play.
That's the thing. So, like, it makes sense to me that, like, some places would ban it if they've had a problem with it in the past. But, like, that seems kind of ridiculous here because, in my mind, if a game's a problem, just don't fucking play the game. But
that's what I'm thinking, yeah.
Like, the way they view that is very different, especially in places over on the East Coast. Or the eastern part of the world. You know what I mean? Places that aren't the U.S.
It'd be like fucking...
Talk about the East Coast, boy. We on the East Coast.
Fucking Texas bans dating sims because there's not enough shotguns in them. Like,
because there's not enough of your own sisters in it, let's be honest.
So, yeah, that's fucking...
AlabamaFamilies.com.
AlabamaFamilies.com. That's the new... It's like the Farmers Only. It's like the new Farmers Only.
Alabama'sOnly.com. If you ain't kin, you ain't in.
Where your family tree branches in.
Nothing says loving like something from your cousin.
Oh my god.
Okay, we can be done with that forever.
No Man's Sky is getting a big online MMO update. They are still supporting this game. So say what you want about No Man's Sky, but they supported the fuck out of this game. Always coming up with big updates. I think that's pretty cool. So if you ever want to play No Man's Sky and you haven't checked it out, maybe this will be the perfect time for you. I don't know. I'm not going to get it, but maybe you will.
I have an unpopular opinion about No Man's Sky.
An unpopular opinion?
Wow. Well, you like it?
No Man's Sky did not deserve the hate.
You are wrong for that.
Yeah, I gotta disagree.
I got stuck on a planet, Josh.
Explain that. Elaborate. I want to hear your point here.
So, and I used to feel the same way that a lot of people did about No Man's Sky and the way that it worked and like everything else. And I'm not going to pretend that the game doesn't have its problems. The game doesn't still have its problems. I mean, it had a lot more problems at launch. But like my issue with how No Man's Sky was received is actually a greater issue with the gaming populace. Because while there were features, and I'm not going to deny that part, there were features that they said would be in the game that weren't. That's not the first time that's happened, and it's happened on a much greater scale before this. But I don't think... Oh, well, actually, let me rephrase that specific statement. I think people wanted No Man's Sky to be something a lot greater than it actually was, than it was ever really intended to be. Because in my mind, looking at everything about No Man's Sky, it was basically space Minecraft. Like, that's really the only thing I saw it as, and that's basically what we got, is like space Minecraft. And everybody was like, where's all this other shit? Where's space battles? Where's all the multiplayer? And like all these things that I don't really feel like were things that they were going to add to begin with. And yes, you were supposed to interact with other players. Yes, there were supposed to be like, you know, other things in the game that weren't. But as a whole, I don't really feel like the No Man's Sky we got at launch was as bad as people were saying it was. I feel like it was hyped up to be something much greater than it was. And that's why I don't think No Man's Sky deserves all the hate it got. It deserves some of it, maybe even most of it, but not all of it.
I can partially agree with that. I absolutely do agree that it was way overhyped, and fans... I remember, Cam, when you were going just absolutely apeshit over it, I was just like, there's no way this is going to live up to the hype. And I do kind of blame like the gaming press, because they were hyping it up. And of course gamers were eating it up too. But I put a lot of blame on Sean Murray himself, because, you know, even regardless of what you said, he was telling gamers that all this shit was going to be in there. Every time they asked him, "Oh, are you going to be able to have big space battles?" He says like, "Yep." "Are you going to be able to meet another player and interact with them?" "Yep." And like, he could have just been honest and just said, "Hey, this is going to be space Minecraft." But no, he was getting them all riled up too. And he was just like, "Yeah, buy my game. It's going to be the greatest thing ever. It's going to have 68 quadrillion planets, even though it only takes up 10 gigs on your fucking PlayStation." You know? It's going to have a bajillion unique monsters who just derpily run around with their little spindly legs and don't do jack shit the whole time. I mean, like, he was just a pitch man. He was just selling shit, and he knew it.
And you know, that's absolutely correct. Salesman. And that's why I said it deserves some, maybe even most, because I know a lot of that came from the horse's mouth. But everything we saw of the game pointed to it being space Minecraft.
Yes, I'd absolutely get behind that too. Like I say, it was this is why I'm always the most cautious one here. I don't like jumping on the hype train like Cam does. You know, I can get excited for a game, but I always try and temper my expectations of the game, because I'm just very aware of how the games media loves to overblow shit.
That's fair.
Say, this is when they were hyping up No Man's Sky 2 to be like the fucking second coming of video game Jesus.
They did the same thing for Anthem.
Exactly. I'm like, there's no fucking way it's gonna live up to that shit.
Nope.
And then sure enough, boom, nothing happened.
Now, I ended up buying Overwatch. I ended up buying Overwatch over No Man's Sky.
Much smarter choice.
Actually, yes.
I remember you were pining over it. You're like, man, I just don't know. And I can't remember if I told you to get Overwatch or not.
You did. You actually said get Overwatch. You'll enjoy the purchase better.
I did, because I don't care for either game. But if I was going to choose, I was going to go for Overwatch. Because at least Overwatch was a fully complete game that looked good and took up more than 10 gigs on your PlayStation.
That's fair.
I can appreciate your opinion, Josh. I get what you're saying, and you know, like, video games fans are some of the most harsh fans there are in any medium.
Absolutely.
So when the fallout comes, it comes full force. You have one problem with your game, your entire game is shit. So I get that.
Yep.
More like when the Fallout 76 comes in.
Oh my god.
Yeah, just like that. Now, in Fallout 76's case, they just kept having one fuck up after the other, so... You know,
that was a beautiful shitstorm right there.
Well, like, you can't take Fallout, like a game that is a primarily single player experience that has primarily single player mechanics, and make it multiplayer without expecting all the problems that existed while it was still a single player game. Like there's no way Fallout 76 could have been a good game to begin with. There's absolutely no way. I don't know why that was even greenlit.
To me, when they said we took Fallout and we made it multiplayer, in my mind I'm like, they fucking figured it out. They fucking did it.
They cracked the code.
They cracked it. And I'm sitting here like half chubbed on the couch watching E3. And the next thing I know, people's PlayStations and Xboxes are fucking exploding.
That's fair.
Because they downloaded Fallout 76 and they had to write essays to even press start.
Oh god, that was so fucking. Oh man.
So
I have not seen a company do such a quick 180 from favorability to just like the antichrist of gaming.
For real, dude.
Konami.
Like Bethesda was doing great.
They could do no wrong, and then overnight,
76 came out, and everybody's like, "Fuck Bethesda."
Yeah, when you look back, it's going to be like a 180, like a complete switch, less than 24 hours. Like one game drops, bottom of the totem pole,
basically.
Bethesda might as well just come out at E3, just pull down their pants and just shit in the audience's mouth.
But for real though,
like that, don't you? Exactly.
Like,
I mean,
just
literally
straight explosive diarrhea
all over the place, just muck spread. Just God, that was such an amazing train wreck. I said they've really got to fucking nail Elder Scrolls 6, or they are done.
They do have to nail. They've got a lot to. When they show up at E3, they better do something.
There's also like Starbound or whatever it's called. Like there's supposed to be another thing happening there too.
Yeah, but they didn't do anything. They just announced they said. We've got Starbound, so nobody really knows what it is yet. So.
Oh, okay.
It was just a title screen, wasn't it?
Was essentially a title screen and like a space, like a bunch of stars you saw, I think. So nobody knows what that is. I mean, that'd be good for them to elaborate on that.
It'll be Space Minecraft, but even buggier.
I gotta stick by Bethesda. Bethesda's my favorite studio, but
that's fair. I mean, like BioWare's one of my favorite studios, and they released a subpar game, and so I have to hold that.
Oh, dude, I've been a Square Enix fan forever, and holy shit, but they just so inconsistent.
That's fair.
Get it? God, you get an amazing game, then you get a shit game. When you get an amazing game, you get a shit game.
Well, at least they're consistent at being inconsistent.
That's also fair. True.
And they've never shit on their fans, as far as I know.
Hey, yeah, that's tough. When you shit on the fans, that's different.
Final Fantasy VII will change that. The remake.
Ooh, that's gonna be a make or break right there.
Do we call 13 a shit on the fans? Because I feel like 13 is a shit on the fans.
I actually, unpopular opinion, I like 13.
Oh, so it's not a shit because they didn't shit on Jeremy.
Exactly.
And that's Jeremy, if there's ever a Final Fantasy fan, Jeremy is the fucking Final Fantasy fan.
I'm saying I'm the only one keeping that company alive.
And for that,
you in
we
Japan.
appreciate you.
Pretty much, yeah. I got more Final Fantasy shit in my house and all their games. They were, like I said, that Skyrim commercial where they have Skyrim on the fucking refrigerator, that's Final Fantasy 6 for me.
That's all. It's true. It's so true. I mean, I've seen it.
If they release it on the Nokia N-Gage, I'd go out there and find it.
You're in there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Let's talk about some Overwatch real quick.
Okay.
New characters dropping. This is their 30th character, so they say. Baptiste is coming. We talked about him last week, I believe. He was in the PTR. He's coming to consoles March 19th, which is 2 days from now. I think when we drop it will be tomorrow. So it'll actually drop Tuesday, and you'll get this on Monday. So it'll drop tomorrow. And he is the combat medic that we were talking about, and he seems like he's a pretty cool character. So I'm going to cut Overwatch on and get some games in with him.
I thought he was that guy in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, you're thinking about You Can't See Me, Baptiste.
Yeah. Dude, how amazing would that be if he was voiced by Baptiste?
That would be cool.
That would be cool. Interesting.
All the memes that came from him were just amazing.
Yes.
He's probably one of my favorite characters in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. Him and Rocket. God, that scene in fucking was it Infinity War? He was just sitting there eating the chips.
Yeah, that's a meme. That's been memed so much.
That was the one you showed me. It was
yes,
just like
I love it. I think it's hilarious. Carmen, you gonna cut on the old Overwatch machine with me and get a run in?
It's the only physical disc that does not leave my PlayStation. So, holler at your boy when you're ready.
Now, Josh, did you jump on the Overwatch train, or did you let that one skip over you?
Oh, no, I did. I mean, when it was released on console, I jumped on the Overwatch train hard. I played a lot of Mercy when I was in my Overwatch days, back in the good old days, let me tell you. But my problem was, like, team-based games are hard because if you don't have a team to play with, like, you have to find a team to play with. And if all the teams that you find are ass, you just don't win. And as a Mercy, you're not winning the game, you're keeping your team alive. And if your team's not winning, you just die.
A lot.
So, yeah, I jumped on the Overwatch train hard, and then I jumped off really hard.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I know what you mean. I played Mercy a little while.
I think it's a great game. I've been keeping up with things happening in it and like characters being released and whatnot because I think that the Overwatch lore is really interesting because whenever Blizzard makes a thing, they don't go half-ass. But I would say that I don't play the game anymore. I think the last time I actually played the game was a solid year and a half ago.
Yeah, I don't play much anymore, but I've kept it, and I think it's one of the best games ever made, honestly. And I've kept it, and if it comes through, it's something that I want to play, a new character, new world, new mode, I'll jump on it.
I really wish, like, Overwatch, and I can say the same thing about Apex, like, I hate it when a game feels like it has a lot of lore and a lot of character, and there's no way to build on it. Like, one thing that's great about Overwatch is the fact that they've got all the shorts, and like lots of things can be gleaned from the shorts, like in the characters involved in them, which is great. But I really wish there was like something in the game that expanded upon the universe even a little bit. Like the small story mode here or there, like that just gave you basic tutorials with the characters or what have you. Like that feels like something that wouldn't be too difficult to do, that would add a lot more to the game for me. I have the same problem with like Evolve and the original Titanfall and even Apex. Like I feel like there's a lot there and I just want to know more about it. I want to have a better reason to connect to the world, and there's just not because the only way I can interact with the game is to play multiplayer. And while that's fun and has tons of replayability, like it's not anything that's really connecting me to the game world. And that's what I enjoy in video games, being immersed, being connected, having reasons to enjoy what I'm doing aside from just the fact that I'm doing it. And so the old school days of like Halo, where you played through the campaign and like all the multiplayer maps were like places that you played in the campaign, and like you can think back like, oh yeah, this is where I fought so-and-so, and that was a really hard battle on Legendary, and like all those like thoughts that you can have and all the ways that you can connect to the game world are missing in many of today's games. And like one of the things that would have kept me playing Overwatch is if I could have connected to the game in a bit of a different way than just playing the game, but I just can't. I don't care enough.
I'm 100% with you. Like that's why I don't care for MMOs and all that stuff. That's why I prefer the single player games.
Yep.
Because I feel connected. Like that's why I love like Devil May Cry, because there's an actual story with actual characters. Overwatch, like you said, amazing characters, great lore, but you're just playing in this world. You're not really actually contributing to a story, it feels.
Nope.
No, it's just like just run and gun, and it's fun. But I need motivation for why I do stuff.
I agree. Even if it's like bad motivation, I'm not saying the story has to be great. I just want something, literally anything.
Yeah, like, I mean, hell, when I played Mario, the original, my motivation was save the princess.
Yeah.
That's it. That's enough.
Crazy simple premise, and that game was hard as fuck, but crazy simple premise. Like, you had a reason to be doing what you're doing other than just shooting people because it's
fun.
And I've always had a gripe with games that you have to go outside the game for lore as well.
Yeah,
like Destiny did it. You had to go on an app to get the grimoires, kind of broke up. I mean, that's not the most fun way to get any kind of lore. Overwatch, you got to read the comics, that come out. Stuff like that. I mean, it's not fun. It detaches you, just like Josh was saying, detaches you from the game, and then you lose interest. Or you can lose interest.
That's why I like the Dark Souls games and Bloodborne so much, because while they don't directly tell you like the story and the lore, it is in the game for you to find, which is really cool.
And the important part is that it's in the game. Like, you find those things while you play. Like, there's nothing you have to do to figure that shit out unless you're stumped and then you see it on the wiki. Like, and the wiki's like shit made by players. Like, From Software didn't give you that shit. Players gave that to you. But like, more importantly, it's there. It is something that you actually experience when you're getting your ass handed to you by that third zombie down the corner.
Yep, like that's exactly what I did after I beat Bloodborne and I got all the trophies and stuff. I went on the wikis because I wanted just a little bit more insight on stuff I might have missed, and it was just cool to go like, oh, that explains a little bit more. But there was some like huge revelations, just like I had no idea because I had the basic context of what was going on, even though the game, like I said, never expressly told me.
Nope, and they don't have to.
No.
Good talk. I like stuff about lore because I'm a big lore fan myself. But let's keep it rocking and rolling. Niantic, the powerhouse behind Pokemon Go, has released Harry Potter Wizards Unite. I don't think it's released yet. They've dropped the title. I don't think it's actually out yet, so don't take me to the bank on that. But it seems like it's a little bit of a mixture of Pokemon Go, and they said it's like got some RPG elements in there. So, good on them. I mean, I love Pokemon Go. It got a major following. People were getting beat up over Pokemon Go and getting trespassing tickets. I mean, that game had a wave.
It was so fun to cheat on.
With the Harry Potter following that is out there, which is insane. This is gonna be. You're gonna hear a lot of stories about this game.
So in my mind, this is really the only other thing Niantic could have done, other than continue to support Pokemon Go. Like, if Niantic wanted to, like, expand their market, this is the second biggest fandom that I can imagine them getting involved with, other than maybe Dragon Ball.
Yeah, I could agree. Harry Potter fandom is huge.
There's so much. There's so many Harry Potter fans. It's going to be nuts. I wouldn't say I'm excited because I don't really care, but it's going to be nuts.
You have to be ready to listen to Megan talk about it, though.
I was going to say, I guarantee you she's already got it downloaded, doesn't she?
Megan got like the early keys. She's going to start giving them out to people.
Maybe.
She's going to be dueling wizards on day one.
Or she's just going to buy like 40 phones.
Just be riding down the street on her bike with like all the little ports on it, just like playing the game in like 8 different ways.
But as hardcore as Megan is, there are a lot of people like her, and then there are people that are even more hard, that eat, breathe, sleep. I mean, it is Harry Potter in the hat, like full decorations. It is role-playing Harry Potter. It is Harry Potter roleplay online. It is going to Harry Potter. It is everything. Like, that's how they live their life.
Yes. And
they're going to play this game, and this game is going to blow up, and you're going to hear the stories just like you did with Pokemon.
Well, I'd say I don't think the stories will be as bad because Niantic has learned from Pokemon Go and will have systems in place to avoid all of the problems that you ran into at the beginning of Pokemon Go.
Yes, I don't think you hear about people getting run over by a car. I can agree with that.
I don't think so.
Well, maybe one person. One person gets run over by a car.
Well, no, it'll happen regardless. People get run over by cars anyway, like just for walking down the street. So the running over cars will happen, but it will be attributed to Harry Potter Go. That's what I'm going to call it from now on, Harry Potter Go.
Harry Potter Go. That's perfect.
It will be attributed to that because people always like to blame video games for things that aren't video games' fault. But as a whole, I absolutely believe it's going to be just as big, if not even bigger, than Pokemon Go.
You mean at its peak?
Yeah.
Wow.
This game is going to just print money.
Pokemon Go prints money.
I know, still.
Well,
to this
printed
day.
Money.
Anything Pokemon prints money. It doesn't matter what it is.
I wouldn't say anything.
I can't think of something off the top of my head.
Pokemon Battle Revolution.
Either.
I don't even know what that is.
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
Never even heard of it. So what is that?
So, you know Pokemon Stadium, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
I do.
So they made Pokemon Stadium 2, and then Pokemon Coliseum. And then and each of those corresponded with like a generation of Pokemon. So like Pokemon Stadium came out during like Generation 1. Pokemon Stadium 2 came out during Generation 2, had Generation 2 things. Pokemon Coliseum, which had its own story, but also had like the stadium mode like you would have in Stadium 1 and 2, with Generation 3 things. And then Pokemon Battle Revolution was like the stadium game of Generation 4, but it was dumb because you could only import Pokemon from other games. There was no actual Pokemon that you could like rent. They weren't like preloaded onto the game like every other stadium game, so you could only play it with an actual team from a Gen 4 game, which was dumb as shit.
That does sound terrible. Did the game
That
flop?
Oh yeah, like nobody about that. Because all the people that did buy it, like, realized that you couldn't do anything that you would want to do in a stadium game. So then they told everybody else to not buy it, which is exactly what I did.
That makes sense. Why I didn't hear about it.
What system was that on? The 3DS?
It was on the GameCube.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
I never heard of that. No.
It's on the GameCube.
Wow.
And it had like a little like freaking thingy that you could connect your like it came with like a connector cable for like one of the GameCube ports to your DS, and like that's how you imported your Pokemon. But you could only import the Pokemon that were in your active party at that time, and more importantly, like they were at the level that you imported them at. Like it didn't even them out.
Ooh.
It was literally just dumb. It was just dumb. It's the dumbest thing you could have done with the stadium game. Because people have wanted a new Pokemon Stadium game for forever. Just like a new Pokemon Snap for forever. But neither of those things are going to happen.
I'm still ready for that new Pokemon Snap. Come on now.
I just will never understand the Pokemon Snap.
I don't either, because like it's so pointless, but it's so fun.
See,
it's so fun.
I can tell you exactly why. Why. So,
why?
Pokemon is a living, breathing world. Right? Like, Pokemon as a franchise prides itself on having a connected universe with all these things that are not people, that are interesting to see, interact with, and for most of the games, capture in battle. But one of the ways we've never been able to experience Pokemon is in their natural habitat. Pokemon Snap was one of the first times, and really the only time, that we've been able to just interact with Pokemon doing whatever the fuck they want to do, rather than capturing them and selling them on the black market, or like making them fight for our benefit.
See, that's why I didn't like it. Like when Snap came out, I was actually into Pokemon at the time, but I wanted them to fight. I didn't give a shit about them in the environment. I wanted to capture them, sell them on the black market, skin them alive, wear their fur. You know, just be a horrible human being.
Jeremy's a Michael Vick of Pokemon training.
Yeah.
Seriously.
But that's what a lot, like, you see that mentality with a lot of people. Like, they would think that just them doing random things wouldn't be interesting. But for all the people who were really interested in the Pokemon world, seeing them do anything other than what we make them do is all kinds of interesting. So that's why Pokemon Snap was fun.
That's why I always felt, because it was more of a passive game. Like I was like, why couldn't I just watch like the anime or something instead?
Yeah, that was what a lot of other people did. Yeah. But you see, you weren't interacting with them in the anime. You didn't control aspects of what they were doing at that time. But like that's the whole like immersion piece again. Like you are, as a player, are the thing causing whatever's happening at that point in time. You have that connection because you're the one doing it. You're the one pressing the buttons. You're the one taking the pictures. And there was a scoring aspect to it. Like you wanted to find the best ways to take a picture of the Butterfree. You wanted to figure out how to catch Mew on camera. You wanted to do all the things that gave you not only the best score, but like the most interesting poses. And at the time in which it was released, you could print that shit out and like bring it home. That was a thing that you could do. And so like that was a big deal. You could like take it to Blockbuster and like get your fucking like on your memory card. You could like get your fucking Pokemon pictures printed out. I know I had this like dope ass picture of Mew. Like Mew was literally in my face. Like I had like literally the biggest possible picture of Mew, like actually possible. Like one frame later it would have disappeared. And because it literally has like the best score that it's like almost even possible in that game. and I loved it. I loved it so much. I printed it off, and it was on my refrigerator in my house for like a solid year, just because I was really proud of it, and my mom wanted to be proud of me, so she printed it off, and I was really happy
Mom.
with it. Although she didn't really understand it, but she didn't care because I was happy with it. And
come on, Ma, it's Mew. Shit, it's Mew.
She didn't care.
I do miss that game. I have a lot of nostalgia for that too, and a lot of nostalgia for Blockbuster. So,
Yep,
those were the days. I go every weekend. We get games.
Same here, man.
that's how you did it, because you couldn't afford to just drop $60 every time a game came out.
Hell no.
Damn,
Like
back in my day, they were 80.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, they were.
I lived in the Super Nintendo days, man. I paid $80 for Chrono Trigger. worth every fucking dime.
Absolutely.
But when you don't have a job, that's a hell of a fucking.
It's a lot of dishes you gotta watch.
For real.
Watch.
Yeah,
I mean, not watch. You don't.
I watch dishes.
Don't watch
all
the
time.
dishes. That's terrible. You shouldn't get paid for doing that. Google has announced that they are going to possibly, and this is just a rumor as of right now, looks like they're coming into the video game space. It looks like they're going to drop a console to rival PlayStation and Microsoft and Nintendo. They have I don't want to call it a press conference, but they're dropping information March 19th. That's Tuesday. Most people think it's going to be console information. So I'm all about, and I think we talked about, I'm all about the having the rivalry and having competition in the market. But that is a hard barrier of entry to come into this gaming space right now with these three juggernauts. So if anybody could do it, it could be Google. So let's not count them out. But I'm interested to see. I think it all falls down to, can Google land exclusives? If they can, then that could really make them a big bad wolf in this industry, I would think.
I totally agree. Like, they do need the exclusives. But if any corporation is going to do it, it's Google. They've got more money than God. They could afford to, like, the Google box, whatever it is, comes out. It could be an abject failure, be the worst selling console of that generation. They could still make a Google Box 2, a Google Box 3, and still never be hurting for money. They can just keep going and going until they eventually find their groove, and then you got a fourth competitor in the mix.
It's basically the Nintendo model, right?
More of the Microsoft model.
Well,
Nintendo hit their stride right out the gate, and they built up a fortune on their consoles, so they had that, notoriety and so forth. Xbox was the one where the first one came out and didn't do that well, but they could afford it because they're fucking Microsoft.
I guess
then the 360.
In my head, I'm just thinking like Nintendo, they could release flop after flop and they would never run out of money.
Now they could, but not when they started.
Yeah,
when they first started, they had to make it. But Xbox, first one, didn't do that well. Xbox 360, gangbusters. They found a groove, and they could keep going. But even then, the 360 could have flopped, and they could have still moved on to the one, and that could have been a hit. Because again, they're Microsoft. They got the cash. They're not like Sony where they've got to succeed, or that's it.
What do you think, Josh? Is it worth coming into the market at this point?
So I have two conflicting thoughts regarding Google's possible console announcement. One, I actually don't think. Well, okay. So first, let me preface this with the fact that it makes sense that Google's doing something gaming related, because almost every other major technology company has a stake in the gaming industry to some degree.
I agree.
Apple?
Well, I don't think Apple does. Now I think about it, but I mean, I guess if you want to call it mobile gaming happens. Well, actually, I think more mobile gaming happens on Android devices than Apple devices. But I'm
sure
whole,
Apple has some
Apple
type
had
of interactive gaming division.
Apple had the Pippin, dude. The Apple Pippin. Can't forget that shit.
That's fair. But for example, Amazon has Twitch. I think Facebook. Did Facebook buy Oculus, or was that some other company?
No, Facebook has Oculus, but they also have Facebook Gaming.
Oh, okay. And obviously, Microsoft has Xbox. And so, it makes sense that they're doing this, but I don't actually think that they're going to make a console. I think that they're going to develop new gaming technology. Because in my mind, that's what's going to be more lucrative for Google in the long run. I don't think they necessarily, I mean, maybe they do get involved in the console market, sure, if they want to go ahead and do that. Or maybe they'll finally invent the all console that has all the games for all the systems and whatever, who knows. But I personally think that they're gonna go more toward the tech aspect of both creating and sharing video games rather than actually making a console to play games on.
So you think they're going to do like third-party development of games?
Maybe third-party development software, or maybe like one other thing I saw a lot in regards to Google's possible involvement in the gaming scene is like cloud gaming.
That would be a natural progression for them. Would be cloud gaming, I would say.
Yeah, and so I think maybe they'll release the framework for cloud gaming that other companies can then use.
You bring up a point though that I've never thought about. How sick would it be? And it makes sense to do for Google to release a Google engine that video games could start creating the Google engine on. It'd be like Frostbite or Unreal. This is a Google engine. I'd never thought about them using their resources like that.
That in my mind makes more sense than to make just a straight console, because if you just make a console, then you have to deal with all the woes of being a part of the market. But why not then be something that all the consoles use?
Yeah,
you know, that takes yourself out of the niche and makes you bet that's a moneymaker. You're broad right there. You're catering to every company there.
Yep.
You want to use
Except you have to remember that Google is going to do this open source if they do it. So if they're going to create an engine, they're going to allow people to modify said engine in ways
they'll monetize it somehow, right?
Of course. I mean, you can use Unreal for free, but you have to pay them once you've released your game.
That's true.
Like they'll let you develop on their engine. Now, if you want to buy different texture packs, of course you have to pay more money. But with this, it's like they're gonna if they do go this route, just say they do decide to build an engine, it will probably be open source, just like Android.
Probably.
Which is good and bad, because then you'll get your pure forms of it, like from Google itself. But then think about the Android cell phones. Like if you don't buy a Samsung, or you don't buy your phone directly from Google, you get a hot bag of ass. Like if you buy the LG, you get shit. If you buy whatever else, you're basically holding a piece of turd in your hand to talk on, in hopes that it will work. So there's something to really worry about. What they need to work on is maybe peripherals, a different way of playing the game. I don't think an engine is the way to go. Personally, I don't think a console.
I was more or less thinking of like a method of like saving
ingesting
and sharing game data, not necessarily an engine to create games in. Although that would be an interesting.
I think
idea.
that the technology is figured out. Like cloud saves are easy peasy.
So why not cloud games?
Cloud gaming is already becoming a thing. I mean, you can game on a PC through the cloud. Getting your game directly from the cloud isn't a problem. It's just a download and upload. It poses other problems in terms of making it accessible to everybody from a DSL connection, which is going to be very slow in comparison to high speed or fiber.
And a lot of people still have caps. I mean, you got to think about that when getting into cloud gaming.
Yep, they definitely have to think about like who still has a cap, which countries have caps. I'm fortunate enough to not have a cap on my internet, so it all depends on what they're going to do with it. But if they go into the console realm, they're going to get crushed. But it's not gonna be a loss for them. I mean, they'll lose money, but it's like, fuck it. But they will get crushed, because
I think the question is,
developers won't go to them and say, we'll make our games exclusively for you.
The question is, if they get crushed Gen 1, do they come back for Gen 2?
No.
I think they will.
It'd be interesting to see.
They
ride out how dedicated they are.
They ride out these things as long as they can, and then they just phase them out. Google Voice.
Google Glass.
Google Glass is still going, but you don't hear about it as much.
You don't hear about Google Plus.
Yeah. So they haven't tried another social media website. Why would they develop a new piece of hardware?
I think it's apples to oranges. If they're trying to push hard,
and why can't we compare
industry, fruit? There's no point in comparing food because they're not the same thing. You want to compare an apple to a tomato? I don't think so.
They're both red.
They're both juicy.
They're both round.
But all I'm saying is,
delicious.
Let them come in. I mean,
plants.
if they really want to push hard, you're going to get if you get knocked down the first time, they could come back and learn from their mistakes.
There's really not much of a point of stepping into the realm, only solely because of developers will push back and say, why would we go on this console that's not tested, it has no ground here, and we're going to drop Sony, like we're going to bring Insomniac's going to bring the next Spider-Man game to the Google box?
The name Google alone brings the same clout Sony and Microsoft have. They have a leg up being Google.
Well, it's also
they have
not
a leg
just
up in the tech industry, but they don't have a leg up in the gaming industry.
I'll say it's not just name alone, because you gotta remember when PlayStation busted onto the scene, they were able to get all these big name game companies only because Nintendo was treating third parties like ass.
For real.
And right now, like the third parties, they're just they're on all the consoles. Nintendo's treating them well. Microsoft, Sony, they really have no reason to jump ship and go to Google. And Google needs them games. If there was only one other console, like if there was like the PlayStation was the only game around, and Sony was just treating the developers like ass, yeah, they would go, yeah, fuck Sony, we'll jump on the first hot new piece of ass that comes in town. But developers got it good.
The only thing
I don't see an issue with development because these companies are already developing for Sony and PlayStation. If Google is smart and they make their hardware an easy platform to develop on, of course they're going to have devs that are going to their system because that's a way for developers to make more money. It brings in a whole new audience because people are going to buy the machine. So I don't see that issue. I think the issue is with exclusives. What company is going to come and say, yeah, I'll send my game directly and solely to you? That's where the problem comes in.
That's what I meant really was that because I mean all the games that the PlayStation 1 got were games that the N64 did not get. They were essentially exclusives. I mean, Final Fantasy VII, that was an exclusive. Metal Gear Solid. These were games that would not be on the N64 because Nintendo just beat a dick. Plus, the N64 just couldn't handle them.
Also true.
So, but because I mean, they would absolutely, if they could just like swap some code around and get GTA 6 on the Google box, that's fine. But at the same time, they're not going to do an exclusive for the Google box when they could do it for, the much more successful and bigger install base of a PS4 or a Switch or something.
So my brain thinks that the only way they're going to survive as a console is if they find a way to, have a reason to have it. My first thought would be if that becomes the indie machine, then there would be a reason to have one, but that's basically what the Switch is doing right now.
Well, also the Switch is portable. That's the main factor. Right
also
there.
Fair.
Yeah. You're absolutely right, though. Yeah. You're absolutely right, because if they just make a standard console unit like the PlayStation or Xbox, there's no reason to pick up a Google machine. They gotta have. I hate to use this word, but they've got to have a gimmick that sets them apart.
No, but that's actually real. If you look at every other successful console, there's been a reason why. If it has been successful, either the gimmick is the way it was marketed, the gimmick is the way that it works. Every successful console has had a gimmick because that's how we as gamers, we as the gaming collective work. We need reasons to have other things. Otherwise, we won't let go of what we already have.
Exactly. And yeah, with Nintendo, you had the Wii with the motion controls, you got the 3DS with the 3D, you got the Switch with the portability. PlayStation, honestly, they never really had gimmicks. They just had the games.
That's their gimmick. The problem with a lot of other consoles right around the PlayStation age is that they were either trying to cater to a specific type of market, or they were viewed as only having games within a certain type of market. But PlayStation has had everything since the very beginning. It's had RPGs, it's had shooters, it's had literally everything, and that's never stopped.
That's exactly what made me switch, because I had an N64 first, and I kept seeing all these amazing games coming out for PlayStation, and I was just getting so pissed off. Like, every new game that came out, PlayStation. So I said, fuck it, and I bought a PlayStation.
I don't blame you.
That's why I had like 40 or 50 PlayStation games, and I only ever had like maybe 6 N64 games, because that's just where they were at.
Yeah.
And I never looked back. Yeah.
And so, like, if you think about it, the reason why the original Xbox didn't do so well is because it tried too hard to be like a hardcore console. But, like, hardcore gaming wasn't really like a huge thing at that point in time. So, like, they tried to go for a market that didn't really exist. Although, as time passed, like, that kind of became its thing because that's how they marketed it.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see what they do.
We'll know in a couple days.
Yep. So, I mean, like I said, we don't even know what they're going to drop, but they're dropping something in 2 days. So, be ready. Be on the lookout. And last but not least, I think for the news topics here, we have the Halo Master Chief Collection is coming to PC. It's coming to Steam, and it's adding what I consider to be the best Halo game, Halo Reach, to the fold. So now,
you bold, bold boy.
The Halos that I did play, I had the most fun with Reach. So, but it's bringing Reach there. So now, I mean, the Master Chief Collection was already a hell of a deal, fun game. Now you got an extra game there. It did, for those who haven't played it, you could do a high-res graphics, like you could switch between the old and new graphics on the fly. There was challenge modes, all kinds of stuff. The multiplayer is back. So PC gamers get to finally experience that.
Well, to be fair, I'm pretty sure they've been able to experience it for a while. I'm pretty sure PC got Halo 3 and ODST, didn't they?
I think so, yeah. I think this is more just the Master Chief Collection in itself, with the big thing being the high-res graphics pack or whatever.
That's actually pretty fair.
Excuse me. But I've played the Master Chief Collection. It's really cool. A really cool collection.
I agree.
It really adds on to the old games, which are already fantastic. The Halo series, as a whole, is one of the coolest series ever made. And me, I'm a sci-fi geek anyway, but I think it scratches every itch. It had great controls. It was a tight shooter. Bungie does great with shooting mechanics, and they have a great storyline there. So I love the Destiny.
There you go.
The Halo storyline.
And then
my mind was somewhere else. My mind was somewhere
home.
But Destiny mechanics are some of the most solid mechanics.
Destiny mechanics,
you did it again.
right?
What did I say?
You said Destiny.
I meant to that time.
Oh,
I was saying, again, the Destiny mechanics are some of the most solid mechanics of a shooter that I've ever played.
But yeah, Bungie does great work. And I think that, like, celebrating the work that Bungie does that has reason to have critical acclaim is great. Like, I really wish we had a remastered version of the Mass Effect series. Like, I would eat that shit up in a heartbeat. But, like, I don't know how necessary this is. I mean, it being on Steam means that, like, lots of Steam-related things can happen now, like fun mods. But, like, I don't know what the purpose of it is other than just adding Reach to it, which is weird because Reach didn't involve Master Chief. So it is. It's definitely it was a different experience because I didn't own the Master Chief Collection, but I played the Master Chief Collection a lot because it had Halo 3. And we played, like, that was the first game that I got serious about. Like, that's the first game that I got competitive with other than fighting games. And for the most part, like, it took a while for me to just move into another Halo, even Reach. Although I do share, sorry, I know this is maybe an unpopular opinion for you, but I do share the opinion that Reach is the best Halo game so far.
Hey! It is fun. It's got a lot going for it.
You guys can get a room at the Holiday Inn Express whenever you like.
Hey, the Holiday Inn Express is pretty damn good now.
Halo Reach is the best Halo game. And let me guess, ODST runs right up second for you guys.
No, we're not
Halo
saying
2,
that the other
Halo
greats
2 is
aren't
probably
great.
the next best Halo game.
We're just saying that Reach is the. It's
Reach,
like
Reach is a reach.
Okay.
It's like the difference between 9 and 8.
What is the difference between 9 and 8?
Nothing. Polish and better shooting mechanics.
There you go.
Halo 2 was perfection, guys. Let's be
Halo
honest.
2 is the second best Halo game. Behind
And
Reach.
just delete your audio. Like, just press that yellow square towards the top left, and then press the little X next to audio track. Thanks, bye.
That's it for the news. I think.
No, it's not.
What did we miss, Jerry Bear?
There was a little game that had the characters coming out for it.
Oh yeah. Okay. I guess I
Yeah.
just skipped that. GT Kid Goku. So another Goku is coming to Dragon Ball Fighter Z, and Kaiba is coming to Jump Force. So I'm sure Jeremy can't wait to jump in and play Kaiba.
Oh, well, I'm not going to download Kaiba because I could give two shits about Yu-Gi-Oh.
How does that even work? Like, how do they fight?
So Yu-Gi-Oh, at least, he summons his cards and they fight for him. So they're like, I guess, Pokemon. So like he'll summon like Dark Magician and like some dragon and some other shit.
Yeah, but like when fucking Naruto shows up, he beats the shit out of Yugi, right?
Well, it's like I say, it's an anime game. They gotta let them. I mean, let's be honest. If this was true to life, just the Dragon Ball characters would win.
Well, yeah.
I mean, yeah. So they gotta actually be able to have it where Yu-Gi-Oh can somehow stand up to Goku.
I guess that's
take
right.
a spirit bomb, you know. But I don't know. I've never actually played as Yu-Gi-Oh in the game. I stick to the characters I like. Like your fucking Dio Brandos, your Jotaros, your Kenshiros, your Gokus, your Vegetas. But yeah. But as for Fighter Z, I was like, yeah, do we need another Goku? Oh yeah, we got Goku, we got plain Goku, we got lemon Goku, we got berry blue, hot topic. We got fun size Goku. I mean,
here's the thing. I think that every version of Goku is great because each version of Goku that exists has a very different fighting style and references a different part of the anime.
I absolutely agree with that. Although I do think Super Saiyan Goku and Blue Goku are a little too similar for my taste. Like, there's just a few things that are kind of changed, but like base Goku is vastly different, and he's actually one of my favorites now. Which is ironic because I wasn't going to download it first, but there's so many characters in there, and just really another Goku. I mean, it could have been worse though. It could have been Ox King, so we're all right.
Still fighting for Chaozu.
Don't want to hear it.
Dude, Chaozu's in the game.
No, but I want him as a playable character, Jeremy. He's not in the game.
He's in the game with his entire moveset.
Blown up by Chaozu.
That's his entire moveset. He just blows up, and then that's it. That's all he does in the whole fucking series.
My mans can fight. Y'all sleeping on Chaozu.
Yeah, he's had literally one fight that he didn't die in.
I bet Josh could do some work with Chaozu if it was
and Krillin beat him with math. I'm not shitting you.
Yeah, well, anybody can get beat with math. That shit's tough. It's not hard to do, Jeremy. Come on now. It beats you sometimes. What can you say? Math sucks.
Math does suck.
Math absolutely
so
sucks.
So does Chaozu.
Yeah, but so does Yamcha, but Yamcha's not bad in the game.
Yamcha's actually good in this, though.
So is Krillin.
Yeah, Krillin was always good, though. I mean, the fucking 4-foot shorty was able to bang that hot blonde. He's doing something right.
Did I miss anything else, Jeremy? Was that it?
Nope, that was the last thing.
That was it. So we got the characters in, and that's it for the news. Is everybody satisfied that we covered everything? We had a lot to go over. I mean, there's a lot this week.
2 hours on the mark.
Yeah.
Almost.
Well, I want to say part of that's my fault because I've gone on a lot of really long tangents.
No, it's okay. The tangents are what make the podcast amazing.
Exactly.
Anybody can talk about what games are coming out.
That's fair.
But the tangents and the conversation make the podcast gold, pure gold. Makes your eardrums pop. In a good way, not a bad way, not the kind of way that can give you brain damage. You want to do a super fight? You want to do an honorary super fight? Get your feet wet, Josh?
Sure. I mean, I didn't realize what you were referencing when you said SuperFight beforehand, but it's a game that I have played.
Okay, we'll do, and since we're running late on time, let's do a honorary super fight with Josh and Jeremy, since Jeremy's the champion, and then we'll save our non-powered one for next time. How about that?
That sounds fine.
Sounds perfect.
Let's do it.
All right.
So, Josh, what's going to happen? You'll get the flow easy. You'll have 30 seconds to debate why your character and your powers are going to be
easy,
Jeremy's
killer.
character.
You're telling the rules all wrong. It's a minute. It's always been a minute.
Or a minute. So, yeah, you got a minute to do your initial argument.
No, Josh gets 30 seconds. I get a minute.
And then...
and he gets 15-second rebuttal. I get 30.
On your rebuttal, you get 30 seconds. I apologize. I was trying to hamstring you, Josh, because you're just too good already. I know.
That's fine.
Not saying these games are rigged or nothing, but, you know.
Yes, but it's time for a
Super Fight!
All right, now.
Yeah.
So now, Josh, I have 4 character cards laid out. So pick 1 through 4.
4.
All right. You are literally an insane clown posse.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
Jeremy, 1, 2, or 3?
I'll take 3.
All right. You are Hillary Clinton.
Back to my old standards here.
Yes.
Oh Lord.
Here, let's grab some power cards. Let's see
I
what's
can still work with it. I can work with this though.
So Hillary Clinton versus the insane clown posse.
Versus an insane
a literal
posse.
insane clown posse.
Oh, so not the insane. So you're just an insane clown posse.
Like an actual insane clown posse.
Okay.
All right. So no juggalo power.
No. All right. So the literal insane clown posse is wearing rocket-powered roller skates and shoots blinding light from their hands.
Ooh.
And Hillary Clinton is narcoleptic and armed with a super glue fire hose.
I'm trying to find
I'm really racking it up.
I'm trying to find a really like I'm unbeatable. Like what? What?
All right.
Well, you gotta argue.
But we have a scenario and we have a location.
Okay.
And the location is Mount Olympus.
Okay.
And the scenario is in pitch black.
Oh. Okay.
All right. So, Josh, as our guest, we're going to let you choose whether you want to go first or second.
Yeah, I want to go first.
Go for it.
Cam, you getting the timer?
I've got a timer up, Josh. So when I say go, you got 1 minute to argue why your insane clown posse on roller skates with blinding light can beat Jeremy's Hillary Clinton, who's narcoleptic with the super glue gun.
You guys ready?
Super glue hose.
Hose, excuse me. Yes, in 3, 2, 1, go.
So I don't even need a whole minute. I'm gonna end this man's whole career.
Oh God.
We're on Mount Olympus and it's pitch black. So like obviously we're on a mountain and it's dark, right? My clown posse people can shoot light from their hands and they're on rocket powered roller skates. More importantly, we have a posse. There is an actual posse here. There is no way anyone who was just one person, regardless of their weapon, can take down rocket powered like clowns. Because keep in mind, we're still dealing with clowns here. We got clown magic nonsense going on. We can fit like 15 people in a car. Like we can pull string out of our ass. Like there's so much shit that can happen right now. And we not only do we have all that shit, but we also have like actual rocket power roller skates and we shoot light from our hands. But the reason why that's important is because it's dark.
Don't even need a minute, but he's going to take
it. He took the whole minute. Good argument. All right, Jeremy, you heard it. Are you ready for your rebuttal?
All right.
In 3, 2, 1, go.
Well, your rocket power skates ain't going to mean shit because I got a super glue hose. I'm just going to spray that shit everywhere. You're going to get stuck all up in it, get rolled up into a ball. After you guys get stuck, all I got to do is just wait for you to have an unfortunate suicide or weightlifting accident that seems to happen to people that Hillary Clinton goes up against or pisses her off. Hillary Clinton's invincible. No one beats her except Donald Trump. At night you ain't gonna be able to see where you're going. Even if like those rocket powered skates, you're just gonna go flying off the fucking mountain anyway. I don't even have to do anything. I'll just lay down, fall asleep, wait for you guys to zip off into the sunset, and I'll just wake up and have no idea where I'm at, just like a crazy old lady that she is.
Is that it, Jeremy?
That's all I'm doing.
All right, I came in at 48 seconds of Jeremy laying super glue down. Josh, you have 30 seconds to lay your rebuttal out, and it starts in 3, 2, 1, go.
So here's the thing. You can lay down the glue, but like it's still pitch black out. So you have no idea where you're laying down that glue, but we can see because we shoot light out of our hands. And because they're rocket powered, like our feet don't even have to be on the ground. Lay all the glue down you want. You can't reach us. You can't even see us. It don't matter, my dude. You're getting beat down by the insane clown posse. It don't matter. Time.
All right, 25-second rebuttal coming in hot. Jeremy, this is your last chance to get that rebuttal in, and it starts in 3, 2, and 1, go!
All right, rocket power skates means you are on the ground. They're rocket skates, not rocket boots. Means you can't fly, you're just going really fast and out of control. Like I said, you may have blinding lights, but you're not going to be able to see that cliff coming up right in front of you. You're going to go flying right off. Or like I said, you get stuck in the glue, and then you find out in newspaper later that you killed yourself, suicide. Shot yourself 3 times in the back of the head. Time.
22 seconds. And the insane clown posse took on the super glue wielding female president runner-up, Hillary Clinton. So let Carmin be the judge. Defer to Carmin on this.
Actually, I was going to tell you that I wanted you to text me who you thought won, and then we were going to go from there. So the thing that I noticed in this fight is the sheer numbers alone make a huge difference. I also believe that if Hillary Clinton wants you dead, she'll probably just send you to Benghazi, and you know. It won't matter that you're in Mount Olympus or not. The narcoleptic part never got brought up, Josh, which was very disappointing.
Oh, you're right. I forgot about that.
I know. Hindsight's always 20/20 on this thing.
This game always will do that to you. Has Cam text me? He has not.
I got you. Hold
on. Cam, do you have any input on the fight?
Yeah, so I think Jeremy did the best thing he could with his super glue. He's going to lay it down just around him. So that's the smartest thing he could do. I think that you got to start thinking about, will it dry in time? Or you got super fast rocket power skates. And with the narcolepsy, like she could be in the middle of like making a circle of super glue around you, but then you could fall asleep. Josh didn't argue that, so we're not using it. I was just thinking that myself. So did good with your defensive maneuvers there. For me, I'm thinking like, does it come down to if once you do can you kill this group of clowns? So that's what I was looking at. So I text Carmin who I think should win.
All right, and we have a decision.
Is it a unanimous decision or are we split?
It's unanimous.
Okay.
I believe that there was really no fighting power from Hillary other than the fact that like every one of these clowns in the posse have to make a mistake, which is fly off the mountain. So I am going to award this battle to Josh. He comes in as a guest, shows up, does work. He thought that he was faster than he was. Mr. I don't need a whole minute. But that's all good. Josh, we appreciate you coming on the show.
Yeah, it was good.
Drop all your
we
socials.
Love when you come on the show.
Yeah,
shout out. What you got going on?
Yeah. So I don't do it as regularly anymore, but if you enjoy my voice and want to hear me go through video games as fast as possible, go ahead and check out the Josh Plays Tonight Twitch channel. Along with that, as mentioned before at the very beginning of this podcast, but it's been 2 hours since you may not remember, I'm also on the Let's Play Tonight podcast. We got some more fun stuff coming from that, and I also have a Let's Play channel that I'm involved in called Let's Play Tonight. So there's a lot of things going on tonight that you need to be a part of, and you should be there.
There you have it. Go check him out on everything. He's a hell of a fighter. He's been playing fighting games for a long time, and he can really show some chops in the fighting game genre. So that's fun to watch. I think Jeremy experienced that firsthand. So,
hey, I took my frustration out on Carm, so I'm feeling better.
But if y'all got nothing else, Carmin, get us out of here, buddy.
All right, so if you haven't been checking us out, our Select Start series is back up in full swing. Check out all those videos. You can watch Jeremy stomp me into the ground in Dragon Ball Fighter Z, or in Blades of Steel, or Dr. Mario, because I took L's in all of those.
Oh.
And play on and stay.
Hella
Average.
Peace.
Night.